Well, we started. I just want to zen in, and because we can't get upset today, no stupidity. I'm just want to get into it. No stupidity. We're gonna zen myself out. Okay, everyone, welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. How we going? Where's Manny? Manny looks like he's in our local studio in Bangkok.
Correlation. I've just blessed all three of you. I guarantee you that Mark on the bottom, he needs more than blessing. He needs to be dipped in holy water.
We got everyone here. We got our favourite Tiger supporter, Conda Tiger, Rosh, and then we got Scotty Tompkins. I think he's on the same as me. My doctor says I can't raise my heart rate above 100 or I'll have a stroke. Please don't make me, Marco. Look, there's no promises here. I reckon there might be an actual death tonight. What do we got here? Rocco Moro, he's there. Good evening. We got Galicchio, he's there. Big show, yep. Who else have we got here? I've got Peter Bluebaggers. Oh, this is going to be a big topic. Happy Marco 20th this year today. We're going to be talking about that in a second. Oh, we got our favourite Collingwood supporter here. Hi, guys. Hi, chatties on everything. We got Jay. Oh, we got Matula. Mark, please no Carlton the contenders and not competing for the people are still having aneurysms over that conversation, mate. And then every week, Lone Wolf Ant, $10. Thank you very much. You are a star. Congratulations to Mark on this 20 years ago. Essendon won his last final, a remarkable achievement for the Bombers. Here's for another 20. Lucky we are all here to celebrate for you, Mark. We weren't going to leave you alone. Oz, thank you very much. We met Oz there at that stage show. Fantastic meeting him. Tracy Reed was there. Good evening, Rocco, Mark, and Quinn. And, of course, chat. We got Cleves. He's all the way from Perth. Mate, everyone's here for you, Marco. Happy 20th anniversary. Everyone's here for you, Mark. See, mate, we love you, mate. Hi, boys. Happy 20th. Yeah, Mark, here's the 20 more. Listen, we're going to have something special for the Spuds. We're going to have something special for the Spuds this week. All right, so let's get into this. How are you, Quinny? Tiger then? Those Tigers, they're just fucking getting out of there as quickly as possible, aren't they?
I told you, mate, it's a peaceful time of the year. I can finally sit back and relax and not worry about footy for a little while. So it's nice, mate. I'm flying at the moment, having a great time.
Oh, I've got a big question for you on under the pump at the end of the night. I think I want to know. I want some answers. Who else have we got here? We got Ty. Yep. They're all there. So what about Magpie Manny? Another fucking loser here. Lucky I'm here to bloody hold this fucking fort together. But we got Magpie Manny. He come on the last minute because he couldn't even get his mic going, but he looks like he's in Joe from Bangkok's house. Have you gone to visit him, have you? Can he hear us or what? Because I'll take you off.
He's
I can see the movement. Thinking.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, oh, here he is. Look at him. Look at him. Now he looks like he's lying down. I'm going to tell everyone he's been for the last 10 minutes just trying to get online, trying to get his mic going. Fucking useless. I was saying, are you in Bangkok? That's Joe's from Bangkok's room that he uses every week. You're in the same room, mate.
Look, I think it's one of those famous rooms for famous celebrities. You just happen to know someone who's got in contact with my people. Yes, I'm using the studio, and a very warm good evening to everyone. I know it's going to be a interesting evening. As
it is going to be interesting.
There's going to be a lot of arguments, a lot of discussions regarding, finals football. teams that are
You're
in there.
in the VIP lounge. You're in the VIP lounge there.
That's right, Scotty. I am in the VIP lounge, and we'll be talking about whether certain teams that are in the 8, should they or do they deserve to be there? I think that's very, very important, and we'll definitely get into that one a little bit later on.
Oh, sorry, Frank. You're absolutely right. I'm mistaken you for Paul. It's Paul's the Collingwood supporter. You are definitely not a Collingwood supporter. You are absolutely right, mate. And we've got also Tiger HQ here. Good day, Rocco. Brisbane by a lot, mate. Richmond closer to the flag. Yep, no worries. They're not closer to a flag this year, I'll tell you that much. They're not closer to a flag this year. At least we are contending. Did you go and have a look at the word contending during the week, Marco, or did you go and have a look at your bloody dictionary there and work out the word? Let's everyone welcome Marco. How are you, buddy?
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Fantastic, guys. Looking for a really good, interesting evening tonight. What do you reckon, boys?
It's been a big
We're going to keep it nice and civil, or are we going to get outstripperous?
No civilness here, mate. Last night was a big show if anyone caught up, and I'm sure everyone in the chat caught up. It was a 5-hour, 10-minute show last night. Absolutely broke records. We finished after midnight. So, and that's to all you sick mothers that are on here now that stayed until the end. There is something seriously wrong with you. And the other thing is, press 1 in the chat if the Don supporter. Let's be a big Marcos with some support. Don Heads, yes, big support for Marco. Yeah, make sure you push the like button and share. But we are here. Yes. We are here because of the man to the bottom right there, and because of Carlton security doors and blinds. We protect the most important thing: your home and your family. Are we ready, people? Everyone's been waiting all day. I can see people rushing off home. I gotta go. We have to hear the jingle. We have to hear the jingle. So let's get it all. Let's get it on. If you want your family to be safe, Carlton security doors and blinds is the place that don't support them forever rivals. And they'll never make the 8. And don't forget the ring, 83394848. And don't forget the ring, 83394848.
Yes, thank you again, Rocco. Thank you very much all year. Call us on 83394848 for a free measuring quote. Mention Fourever rivals and, of course, the jumper punch, and you will receive 10% off your proposal. So, but be quick. Spring and summer is coming, or spring is here already. So, if you require a free measuring quote, give us a call, 83394848. Protect your home and, most importantly, your familia.
Oh, I like it. And we look like we're planning on something. He's having problems. He can't get nothing right, just like his shit football team, just like his shit. What was this one, Matula? This may get. I don't think this is going to go a 5-hour show because I don't think my brain will be able to handle. I've got some special things coming up. I've got some special. Yes, it was in the Guinness books already. What a week! First of all, we had right on Saturday night. We had the stage show. 100 people there. I was over 100 people there. We had Simon Wiggins. We had Scotland. We had Prize Man. It was just a great night. Great food, drinks. Everyone enjoyed themselves. Everyone got to meet everyone. I got to meet people I haven't met before. It was just really, really fantastic. Oh my God, Tracy Reed. You don't have to, but Tracy Reed, thanks for the $20. Rocco, go and buy your dogs in the background a treat for me. Thank you, Rocco, for a lovely evening. Paulo, Mars, and Rocco are class gentlemen. We had a great time. We had a great chat. The dogs are going to absolutely do my bloody head in. Here he is. He's back. He's back.
Good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
sure can.
Hear you. So thank you, Tracy. She was a star. She came from a long way too. So we appreciate everyone that come down. Hawker, Oh, he's got a big game too Friday night, the Hawker. So how are you, mate? Yes, the stage show was awesome. Toby Cook. Hi, Rocco. Go Blues. Go the Carlton Blue Boys on Saturday nights. Yes, we're definitely going to go, man. I won't be there. My son is actually off tomorrow morning. We got a par. Is that a par? I don't even know. I don't even know if they're trying to get me here. But are you still a contender? We are still a contender, mate. We are still. So what I want to do is let's get straight into this because I think we need to get straight into this. What do you reckon, boys? We get straight into this?
Yeah, tuck in.
All right, so let's get straight into this. So first of all, it is a very special day today. We have to celebrate this. It's 20 years ago, right, that the Bombers won their last final. Everyone give them a round of applause. What a fantastic effort. What a fantastic effort by the boys. Are we all proud of it? It's just amazing, mate. It's just amazing. And because it is 20 years and we like to celebrate, right? What we're going to do is we'll go back out so we can see each other. It's just isn't it a fantastic day, mate? Isn't it a fantastic day? Are you going to celebrate after this, Marco? Are you going to celebrate after this? So what I've done is I've prepared a cake so we can all celebrate 20 years. And I've got the number 4 for Fourever Rivals, of course. The Fourever Rivals are going to celebrate. So all together now, let's do it. Happy anniversary to you. 20 years ago, you were like poo, and now you're still a bunch of diarrhea. Happy anniversary to you. We're going to blow this, everyone. Hip, hip. Let's do it.
Hooray, hip, hip.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Hooray. Hip, hip. Hooray. Now we're going to make a wish. I'm wishing 20 more years. I reckon we could do. What a fantastic. And you know what I've done, Marco? You know what I've done? I've actually written a song. Well, I haven't written a song. I'm going to sing a song for you just to celebrate your day. And it goes a bit like this. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they never end. We sang and danced.
You love it, man.
Forever and a day. We lived the life we choose. We fought we never lose. For we were young and sure to have our way. Those were the days, my friend. They thought they'd never end. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Those are the days. And by the way, these are the spuds that your team is full of. See the little spuds.
You haven't been drinking that $100 bottle of whiskey today,
I have been drinking.
I expect nothing less from The Rock. And all I can say is, he just told you impolitely, you just copped a big cock.
It is what it is. 20 years, obviously. It's
20 years, though.
We hopefully we don't have to wait much longer.
I think you're going to be waiting a lot longer.
When was the last time Carlton won the flag?
That's exactly what I was just about to say. You know, you can all go back to the Bombers, mate, but I think it's getting close to 30 years since Carlton have won a grand final. So, you Carlton supporters out there, don't get too cocky, mate, because you could be waiting another 30 bloody years.
What are you doing this weekend, Marco?
Me, I'll be contending at a game of soccer on the weekend. So I'll be contending to make the finals. I don't think we're contenders. I don't think we're contenders to make the finals, but we're contending to make the finals. So, so that's what I'll be doing on the weekend.
Everyone's a contender to make the finals at the start of the year, Marco. Did you look up the word contender?
We're all contending. We're all contending to make the finals,
except for Essendon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, except for Essendon. Yeah, but
they keep just disappointing every supporter every single year. And we might not have won it since 95, but at least we've been up there and won finals. We actually, in one of your last finals that you tried to contend in, we beat you by 60 or 70 points in an elimination final.
It could have been, Rocco. You know.
Yeah, no, not that it could have been.
You need the trophy in the cabinet, mate. You need the trophy in the cabinet. Don't worry about games.
At least we got a chance there, mate.
So forth. At the end of the day, you need to win grand finals.
My friend.
It's very. If I was a Carlton supporter, I'd be
How can
very
you be a disgrace, man? 20 years. 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. Well, we haven't won a final. Look, it is disappointing.
20 years.
But you know, things can change every year, and if we win a final, so be it. But I'm not worrying about winning finals, mate. I want to win every single final and then win the flag. So 30 years is a long time for you Carlton Blue supporters out there. They'll be waiting. There's no guarantees this year that you're going to be winning a flag again. So just be mindful of that. Anyway, I'm just about to have some dinner. I've got the missus quickly I'm running late, boys. It's just been flat out all day.
Anyway, while we're here, I just thought I'd do some research. The last time Essendon won a final, it was a leap year. Did you know that last time Essendon won a final, it was a leap year? Facebook was launched. That's the last time Essendon won a final. Shrek 2 was the biggest film for the year. Shrek 2. MySpace was the biggest social media site going around. MySpace. Google launched email. That's how long ago Essendon won a final. John Howard was Prime Minister. George W. Bush was the president of America. Usher's Yeah was the number one song. Petrol prices were 98 cents a litre. 98 cents. The average house was $314,000 in Melbourne. Did everyone know that? Did everyone know that? Milk was $1.20 a litre. The average wage in Australia was $43,000. Australia's population was 20.1 mil, and Essendon's membership was 36,000. Not much more now. Not much more now.
Well, can I just say thanks for the information there, Rocco. Very informative, and it's good to see that you've taken the time to do a little bit of research, and I respect that. No, and that's brilliant. But can I first and foremost say that let's go back. Let's go back a step, right? Yes, every team that's in the 8 is contenders. Every team in the 8 at the moment has the opportunity to go all the way. Is that a fair statement to what I've just said now, Marco? Or do you think that only certain teams deserve to be there and certain teams shouldn't be there?
No, look, we're not going to go back into this conversation again because obviously last week it got a little bit out of control. But it's just like saying next year you've got 18 teams, right? Is that correct or not? Are we all contending to make the finals? All the teams are contending to make the finals. Is that correct or not?
100%.
So out of those 18 teams, who are actually contenders to possibly make
They're all contenders. That's what I don't want to go over this again because there's something wrong with your brain. But the point
don't worry about
is,
it. I asked a 10-year-old kid this question, and they answered.
When you are competing,
Richmond are contending to make the finals next year. Richmond are going to be contending to make the finals. Are they contenders?
I've warned you about this. Do not talk over me because it becomes messy, right? Don't talk over me. Wait till I stop. You asked me a question, right? And I'm going to answer it. So don't keep talking over me, right? Every team is a contender. What don't you understand about that? That's what a competition is. You don't even know the right phrasing. You've had fucking 7 days and you can't work out the right phrasing.
I'm trying to explain to you the phrasing. You're getting the phrasing.
Mark's trying to say.
Not the word contender. If you
everyone is contending. Everyone's
AFL,
contending.
you are
You
a
are the
contender.
contenders.
I think to be fair, Rocco, and correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn, I think that having a look, and I know a lot of the viewers are going to probably disagree with me, but having a look at the way Carlton has been finishing off the season, right, and having a look at the way other teams, and
Anyway,
then you
hey,
can say,
Manny, no, stop, because you don't run the
No,
show.
let him talk.
We
Rocco.
weren't, no, don't run the show because this is
I'm
not what the fucking schedule was. This was going to be talked about later.
all right.
You just come in and you just jumped in with questions. You can't even get your audio right, and you want to now run the show. Sit
Well,
back.
you're the one who walks off.
Well,
You
I
wanna
walked
walk
off because I've got to go switch off the gas. Do you want me to fucking blow up the house?
Well, I couldn't give a shit. You're
Well,
a
then
Carlton
shut up, you. Mark, I'm going to say this one more time, right? Stop being an idiot. The word contender, look it up. Look it up. If you compete in a competition, you are contending. What don't you understand about that? Now, do you want to ask? You want me to help you? Do you want me to help you, Mark? Do you want me to help you? If you want to ask, right? Is every team got a chance to win? I would say yes. If you say how much chance has everyone got, well, that's a different question. But you're asking the word contender. Use your brains, Mark, mate.
All right. Let's go back to the question. Go on.
No, we're not going back to the question. We've got other things to talk about. But in the meantime, one thing I do know, right, 100%, Essendon aren't a contender. Essendon have got zero chance of winning the finals this year, right? That's what I know. Do you understand? That's all I know. Yes. And you could try. You could try to bag Carlton. You could try. But how dare a team that can't even make the finals try and talk about other teams? You should worry about your own backyard, mate. It looks like it's a fucking mess, mate. Players don't want to stay. Players want to leave. You've got one of the worst recruiters in the last 20 years, right? Your president's a fucking hack, right? Your captain can't even make the All-Australian, right? You got a coach who had a losing record at North Melbourne and again has lost again for another year. I think you should worry about your own fucking backyard, right? That's what I reckon.
I worry about my own backyard. But anyway, going on this.
Mate. Oh, I could see Marco's a little bit angry. I told everyone at the end of the year, I'm going to get to the stage. Yeah. You're calling us potatoes when you can't even make
cold, man. They're bloody cold pies, man.
I'm
going to get yourself bloody spud chips, mate. If my pie's not going to be hot, if it's going to be cold, I might as well have some bloody chips. Oh. Where's that bloody fly? Where's that fucking fly? Where's that fly gone? Where's the fly? What the hell?
I think I'll let Petra Khan explain something for you.
I'm going to divorce you.
I'll explain. Maybe Petra Khan, thanks, mate. You can explain it to you. Here you go, Marco. The number of contenders decreased from 18 to 8. Can you read that, Marco? Can you read that?
Sorry, mate.
Can you read that?
No, I can't read.
So the number of contenders decreased from 18 to 8. After this weekend, it'll decrease from 8 to 6. After the next weekend, it'll decrease from 6 to 4. 4 to 2, and then there'll be a winner. That's how contenders work.
Yeah. They're contending, but the contenders will be the top 4 teams. But anyway, let's go.
Explain that.
No. Let's move on.
No. I move on when I want, Mark. Explain that.
Well, I'm not going to.
You haven't got that after 2 years. I'll move on when I fucking like.
I'm not going to answer the question. It's getting too high temp now. Let's just
No, it's not getting high tech. It's pretty
I
standard.
just got a message from my management. I've got a message from my management saying, Mark,
you can't work it out. You can't work it out. Yous aren't even contending. Yous aren't even contending to get players to your bloody thing. No one even wants to come
down. Management is on to me at the moment saying, Mark, you need to be careful what you say on the show because you'll be in trouble. Your contract will be removed.
Your contract?
Mm.
Mate, your contract. You know what your contract's worth? As much as Stringer's worth. Nothing.
12 months.
Mark.
I'll get rid of you. You know what I can do? I can actually put this thing in replace of you and get a more serious conversation. Please,
Mark,
brother.
what happened to your I thought under the contractual agreement, you were supposed to be wearing a suit.
Yes, I was going to wear a suit, but again, management said no, not yet until you get a few extra dollars in your belt there. But I was thinking about maybe what we should do, boys. Maybe grand final eve, our last show. I think we all should be wearing suits. How does that sound, guys?
Nah, pretty stupid to me. I'm not wearing a suit. What for?
Well, it's like a grand final eve.
The only time Rocco wears a suit is when he has to appear in front of a magistrate.
And that's like a couple of times a year. All right, let's go into this one quickly. We did have an all-Australian team, mate, as you can see. Maybe you can do this, Quinny. You can read out the names from back to front.
All righty. Well, we'll start with the back line like every good team selection does. And we got Nick Blakey in the back pocket. We got Jacob Wiedering at full back with Luke Ryan in the other pocket. The half back line consists of Dane Zorko, Jeremy McGovern, and Dan Houston. In the center, we got Errol Goulden on one wing and Nick Dacos on the other, with Marcus Bontempelli, the captain, starting in the center. In the ruck, we've got Maxi Gawn. We've got Patrick Cripps as well, vice captain, well earned, and then Caleb Sarong to round out the midfield. Starting in the half forward line, we've got Chad Warner, we've got Jeremy Cameron and Isaac Heaney. Jake Waterman, forward pocket, Jesse Hogan at full forward, and Dylan Moore in the other pocket. And then on the interchange, we have Lockie Whitfield, we've got Lockie Neal, Adam Trelaw, and Zach Butters.
Very well read, man. That is excellent stuff, mate. That's why I got you to read it there. Very, very good. So just a question to everyone. Anyone should have been in, anyone should not have been in there. Yes, we do realise there's no Zach Merritt.
I'm sorry, guys. Who are the actual selectors? Who are the selectors? You guys know the selectors for the All-Australian, or
we are?
There's a few.
There's a few. There's like a 7 or 8.
So you don't know some of them. Okay.
I know Kane Collins is one of them, but I don't know all of them.
Collins, I think Eddie Fowler's one. I think there was the female. What's her name? The one that's on Fox. I don't know her name. Abby. Abby's one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see who the selectors are, because selectors obviously, they might have some favourites to make that selection. So it is what it is. That's what they've chosen. I thought Jack Merritt should have been at least maybe on the bench.
All right, so good. And I know you were going to bring that because that's the only one you could come up with, and it's actually quite disappointing that you came up with that, right? But since you brought it up, who would you take out?
Who would I take out? I probably would have taken out.
Somebody. You got to take out somebody.
Cripps.
Who's that one there at the bottom there? Trelaw?
Cripps.
Trelaw's had his best year ever. He's probably going to win their best and fairest.
Yeah, because he's had his best year ever. It doesn't mean that, okay, all right, fair enough. Well, maybe looking at that's probably one player that I might have put through. Obviously Lockie Neal and Zach Merritt. I think they were quite close all year. Cripps, I think Cripps, he's a great captain. Is Cripps the captain or was he vice captain? Vice captain, yeah. So another player that kind of will play a few good games and then drift out a little bit. So
he's a fucking favourite to win the Brownlow. Shut up, Mark. Now you're just being an idiot. There's no one there you would replace. There's no one there.
Can I say
Merritt had a fair year, but there's no chance you're going to replace. Mate,
no.
did you say Treloar? Treloar's had one of the. He'll probably come fucking close to bloody top 5 in the Brownlow. Are you serious?
Treloar may be the reason.
My opinion, Rocco.
Treloar may be the reason.
Treloar
may be the reason as to why Bontempelli misses out on the Brownlow, because I can tell you right now, Treloar has had one of the best seasons of the year. But having a looking at that, I have to the one that I disagree with is I think Cripps should have been captain.
Nah. Look, I'm going to say.
Hang on. I'm not talking about. I look at it. I don't look at it. You look at it as a Carlton. I look at it as a non-biased. I think to me, it's all about the influence a captain can have. And correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn. But I think there was about 5-6 games where Carlton looked like they were going to lose, and Cripps just that small little influence that he has on certain moments on the game, and the viewers can correct me if I'm wrong, that have changed the course of the game. And I'm not taking anything away from Bontempelli. I think Bontempelli is a brilliant player, but I think this year, Cripps to me showed that he was a captain's captain. That's just my opinion.
To tell you the truth, before, because we didn't watch the whole thing. Me and my son watched when they named the team, and I picked Bontempelli before they named him as captain. I thought he had an amazing year. So if either one got picked, it would have been fair enough. If one got vice and one got captain, it wouldn't have mattered. But Bont had he did some good games too. The only one, can I be a bit controversial here? And I thought about this. You know, the one person I disagree with? Dacos.
I have an idea.
Dacos.
Really?
And I'll tell you why, right?
Okay.
And not because he didn't have a terrific year. He had an amazing year and could absolutely be Brownlow medalist at the end of this, in a couple of weeks.
So you're saying the All-Australian? The All-Australian?
I disagree with his pick. You know why?
Go on.
When did he play on the wing? Why have they named him on the wing? If he's not good enough to make it in that middle, then he shouldn't have been picked. Because what they've done is, because he's had such a good year, they've put him on the wing. He hasn't played on the wing all year. Like, why are they picking him on the wing for? If anything, put him on the bench then, right?
Well, Nick is
or put him in the middle, or take someone else. But it's like saying, oh, we want to put in, for example, like Curnow, but we can't fit him in. Let's put him in the back pocket. Like he didn't. If anything, put Josh bloody Dacos on the wing. You know, why did they play him? He should have been either in the middle, right, or not in the side, or an interchange. Why is he on the wing?
Nick is an all-round player. And
no, he's not. He hasn't played the wing all year.
All right, yeah, okay. He hasn't played the wing all year, but you know what? Positions don't. You know, to me, I know that there's positions there, and we say about positions, but I think it's just basically they choose the best players, and there's no way you cannot have a superstar.
They put him in the centre where he played all year.
Superstar like Nick Dacos. In that selection.
Are you listening, or are you listening?
I agree.
Wait a second.
I agree.
You're wrong. You're wrong here, right? You are wrong. Because if he was good enough to make it, which I think he was, he should be in the centre. He's not a wingman.
So who do you remove?
I don't know. All I'm saying is it's not about who I remove and that. I said he's good enough to make it. What I'm saying is, they put him on the wing. He's not. He hasn't played wing all year.
So is that
maybe we should just start getting rid of the positions and just have the best 22 players?
I see that, but
I agree with Frank here. He actually deserves to be in the middle, and that's it.
So who goes out for him?
I don't know. I really haven't looked at it, but there could be, or go onto the bench. You know what I mean? To tell you the truth, because when I look at it, let's be serious. Like, I don't know how good these players have played all year. Zach Butler's been good. Lockie Winfield has been great. Lockie's been great. Let's see in the centre. Maybe Goulden. Oh, he played in the centre. He's on the wing. Oh, he plays on the wing. Maybe Sarong, but he's had a pretty good year too. But maybe Sarong should have missed out.
Harris Andrews, I think, was a bit stiff. I think he should have either taken McGovern, possibly, or even Wiedering, whatever his name is. Wiedering.
Yeah, all right. Wiedering, who's lost one. Wiedering, you're picking card to play. Wiedering, who's lost one. He's lost one contested mark all year. You're going to take him out.
I would have put probably Harris Andrews. I think Max Gawn. Yeah. I don't think he's all Australian ruckman. I thought maybe there's a couple more other ruckmans this year that have played well all year. So it's all about the name as well. So look, I mean, even that guy from North Melbourne, that Chera.
He hasn't played better than Gawn all year. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, if Gawn was to that level, I think Melbourne should have been a lot higher on the ladder. So, sometimes it is the name that they put in those sides or the All Australian.
He's been the best ruckman. The only one.
There's a couple of players. Harris Andrews and Harris
and
Andrews.
Who are you going to take out for the back? I think the back line is absolutely spot on, to tell you the truth. Maybe McGovern, but he had a good year. As far as like ruckman, you don't even know that bloke from North Melbourne. You don't even know his name. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's with an X, E-R-R-I. So
he's had a better year than Gawn, no chance. The only one I would consider would be maybe Cameron from Collingwood had a good year.
Well, there you go. So there's some more. Some more options there on the choice of All Australian ruckman. So,
and you know what though? Sometimes, and to be fair, right? Sometimes you find that there are seasons where a number of players definitely deserved to be in there that are not in there this year. And I'm not saying this because of Mark, but I think the Ferret deserved it to be in there. Yeah, he had a really good year. He was probably one of Essendon's best. So, sometimes,
like you just said that about, he said that about Trelaw. Then who do you take out?
But that's what I'm saying. That unfortunately, there are, there's only a certain amount of players that you can choose. Because if you had to choose the All Australian team, players on the bench, and then you had, say, a choice of another, say, 10 players, right? They would probably, there'd be certain players that would make it. So, it's, and sometimes it's like Mark said, these selectors, sometimes they may have a bit of a soft spot on certain players. Now, I don't know how many selectors are there? Is it 10? 5?
Well, I've got the selectors here in front of me if we want to hear them.
Yep.
So we got Andrew Dillon, Eddie Betts, Jude Bolton, Nathan Buckley, Kane Corns, Abby Holmes, Glenn Jakovich, Matthew Pavlich, Laura Kane, and Josh Marnie. So
hence that's why you've got 2 players from the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, so there's 10 selectors.
Yeah. I think there's too many selectors, to be quite honest. I think it should be just 3 or 4 selectors and so be it. But imagine the arguments those guys would have had to pick their side. Jesus Christ!
But what value do these have? Like this Abby Holmes, she's a wonderful commentator. She does a great job. I think she, not taking anything away from Abby. All right, don't want any women to shoot me, but I think you need to have people that have been in the game, who understand the game. Or maybe she does understand the game better than most blokes do. So did she do play? Yeah. So I don't know. It's just sometimes. Are these? How do they choose these selectors? And are these selectors the same, say for the next 3-4 years, or do they change? I don't know.
They're always different. Now, it's got nothing to do with the selectors, man. They just pick like a bunch of selectors. They all watch the game. They've all got experience. What are you going to say about any of them? It's not the selectors. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a case for one player to be in, one player to be out. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't mind that team. That team's good. To me, you go, oh, Merritt should have been there. Or who are you going to take out? Who are you going to take out? Did they have a better year than them? It's all subjective, you know. But the only one was the Dacos to me. That was wrong. He didn't play in that position. That's it.
In that situation, they could have Whitfield was on the bench. They could have had Whitfield on the wing and Dacos on the bench. And then all of a sudden, that makes more sense. But the problem is they do this every year. It's midfielders that they put in the forward pocket or the half forward just to fit him in the team. And they do that every year. And it'll be like, oh, they played 10% of the season in the forward line. To me, that doesn't count. I just want to see a forward pocket in the forward pocket spot. Like they've earned their spot. Like people in the comments are saying Tyson Stengel, right? He could have been in that team as a forward pocket. On the wing, I want to see wingman. In the ruckman. I don't want to see... Yeah, because that way you get an idea of who the best was in that particular position. We know Dacos is one of the best players in the comp, right? He's one of the best players in the comp, but was he the best wingman? No, he wasn't the best wingman. But I think that's why I understand where you're coming from, Rock. So I don't like the way they do it because they do throw as many of the best players as they can all into the one team, but they're all out of money.
And it's mainly, Quinn, what you're saying. It's mainly the midfielders that get the option of having those extra positions on the field. So, you've got, 7 or 8 gun midfielders say, oh, we'll just put him on the wing. We'll just put him on the back flank, like Rocco was saying, but that's not their positions that they play, And obviously with Brownlows these days, who's the last ruckman? Who's the last full forward that's won the Brownlow? It's all about midfielders, and they've got to find those positions. They've got to find those positions for those players in the All-Australian.
There's so many midfielders, it's hard, But at the end of the day, if you're picking this side to play against another side, right, you're not playing Dacos on the wing. The wing is a specialist position, mate. The wing is that you've got to run up and down. They do more Ks than anyone. It's all about positioning for them. Where are they going to run to? They have to defend. They have to attack. They do more than what a midfielder does. So I'm telling you, if anything, Josh should have got in as a winger, not Nick. But again, I think he deserves to be in the side. I just reckon they got that bit wrong. And you're right. Get Whitfield to go on the wing and put him on the bench. That would have been fair enough. Hey, I think you've hit a bit of a sore note here. You pickle Manny. Abby knows more about the game than you, and you haven't even played, mate.
I'm not taking anything away from Abby. Like I said,
how do you want to rule her out because she's a woman? She makes more sense to this one than the male comment. You said it, mate. You said it.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. I actually am a very, 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 very big supporter of Abby. I think she brings a lot of personality.
I don't think you are.
No. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that, and I'm not having you go at Abby. No. What I'm saying is that these team selectors, I don't know how they go about choosing these team selectors.
Why did you pick Eddie Betts or Dylan, or why did you go and straight to Abby?
I just used Abby as an example. I mean, I could use Eddie Betts, but Eddie Betts played for the wonderful team of Adelaide.
I would stop digging a hole, mate. Personality.
And then he played. And then I think he also played. What's that?
Tracy Reed asked, personality? What about her knowledge? Why'd you name it? It's like saying you meet someone and say, oh, they got a good personality. That's just like a bit of a backhanded slap. Oh, mate.
I don't know her that well. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think she's fabulous. I like her. I like watching her when she's on TV. All right. But that doesn't mean because she's on TV and she's played the game, that means that all of a sudden she's a good selector. Okay, let's be fair. Yeah. You get some players. You get some players who play. They're brilliant as players. They're shit as coaches.
Beep,
You know what I mean?
beep, beep,
Nah.
beep,
Nah.
beep. You know what that is, everyone? That's the truck trying to back up. Beep,
No.
beep.
It doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that.
I didn't say it. You said it. I think Abby is a gun, and I loved her as a commentator, and I loved her when she was on Survivor, and I rooted for her and wanted her to win all the way, and I thought she was unlucky to get voted out. She was one of the leaders out there. So I love Abby. And so
I've got
mate. Looks like mate.
Leave the experts with the violin, okay? You just do what you know best.
Now, I remember a few years ago in one of the EJ Whitten All-Star games there they used to play before they stopped doing those. Abby was playing, and she played in those for a few years. She played in those.
She's one of the original, wasn't she? I think she's one of the original AFLW players, yeah.
Yeah, she'd been around for a while. But I remember she was in that one of their games. I think it might have been her first one. And she's taken a mark at the top of the goal square, and I'll never forgive her for this. Richo runs past her the handball into the open goal, and she burnt him. And she threw me that day. I've never forgiven her for doing that. You don't burn Richo. But, Rock, speaking of the AA team before we move on,
yeah,
I was talking to a Carlton mate during the week about this, and I wanted to hear what your thoughts were on it. Jacob Wiedering has been stiff probably the last 3 seasons now to not be All-Australian. Do you think out of just say, let's put it in a 4-year span, we'll say the 3 years that he was stiff to miss, and then this year he has made it. Would you say out of those 4 years, this arguably wouldn't have even been the best out of all those 3 years? Because the guy I was talking to, and I actually agreed, said that he's had better seasons than this and was very stiff not to make it in the past.
Yeah, so I think a couple of years ago he was really stiff. He was definitely the best, and I think like Moore got it, and not to say that Moore, but mate, Wiedering's a better one-on-one defender than Moore is any day of the week, and that's not even an argument, But this year, I'm telling you, I think he lost. Look, I heard it was 1, but it was less than 3 or 4. Less than 5 one-on-ones in the whole year. That's like, mate, you can't beat that, man. I'm telling you, the bloke you can't get through the bloke. You can't get as a one-on-one, and that's what they've got him there for. He's definitely, but you're right. I believe a couple of years ago when he was really stiff and he missed out, he always makes the squad, but he just never seems. So look, it's deserving that he made it this year.
Can I ask a silly question? Did any player from the Bombers make it?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, but in reality, if you look at the Bombers without Sternum, Merritt would have been the only one. There's no one else. Who else would there be, Mark? On a serious note, who else from Essendon would even have a chance to make the AA this year?
To contend for the to contend for the
to contend. Now he uses the word. That is like you can't write that.
Or they contending. Look,
hey, can I ask something? At the start of the year, is every player contending for the AA?
Yeah, they're all contending. Of course they are, but are they contenders is a different story.
He just said they're all contending, but are they contenders?
Everyone's contending for everything, mate, but are they actual contenders? But anyway.
Who else was there?
Well, second on the ladder halfway through the year this year, so there obviously would have been some great players, playing at the Essendon Football Club to get them to that level. So I think, if we continued in that form, I think Nick Martin might have come close. Jai Caldwell possibly would have come close as another midfielder contending. And maybe a Sam Durham on the wing, possibly. He did play in the wing often this year. So that would be my other 2 contenders for the AA side this year.
That's funny, man. That's
There you go. There you go.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
So so
What about your boys, man? Who made it from Collingwood? Collingwood were, pretty average this year, obviously, but they were, playing some good football. Who was it? Was it just Dacos that was in the All Australian this year, or was there another player? Did Moore get there? Peter Moore.
Darcy Moore.
Oh, Darcy Moore. Did he come close, or do you think, or I don't know. I'm just asking the question. What do you think, Manny, that should have made the All Australian team for Collingwood? Well, why not go for it as well, Quinny?
I don't think there was anyone from Richmond that should have made the All Australian team.
Why? West Coast got two players. You can't say that about the Richmond Football Club, mate. Come on, there's got to be someone at least.
I'm a realist. I don't think anyone was good enough.
West Coast got two because Pavlich was probably there.
I thought we had players that played well, like that were very good this season. I thought Daniel Rioli was fantastic, but I don't see who you take him out for. I thought Nankervis was fantastic, but he wasn't better than Gawn. So I got players that I think were very good, but I don't think there's players that were good enough to take anyone out of that side. But Rioli, I think, has been stiff a couple of years. Not this season, but I thought he's been stiff in the past, Rioli. He's had some good years on that half-back position.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, it's
maybe
we talk about
require some indigenous selectors in this as well.
And sometimes it doesn't really reflect on how well a team plays throughout the year. Because you look at it now and you think to yourself, all right, Nick Dacos, all right, we know we've really spoken enough about him, but sometimes there are good players that do miss out. Now, I'm actually surprised because I actually thought there would have been a couple of players that would have made it from the Bombers. That actor, what's his name?
Drake.
Yeah.
you reckon he should have made it?
Yeah. Or better still, the package.
So you're just shit stirring now, mate, aren't you? You just like shit stirring me now, mate, aren't you? You're not talking about football. You just want to stir me up, so I'll start saying silly things, and then I'm the one that cops it all the time. Yeah.
Not at all.
So you're saying that Sam Draper should have been All Australian ruckman, or come close?
I do. Well, I think he had a better
play quite well this year.
I think he had a better year than Gawn. So that's what it is. It's really all about the selectors, isn't it? It's all about the selectors, and it's the opinion of the selectors. That's what I'm saying.
You're drunk. First you make the things about Abby, and now you're saying that Draper, right, who played half a season, right, had a better year.
I actually like Abby. All right, I actually have a little bit of a crush on Abby. Okay. So let's leave Abby alone. But it's what I think is to myself is it's sad that certain teams that finish, or have an average year, right? For example, Richmond, they had a bad year. Did anybody deserve to be there? According to Quinn, yes, but the selectors looked at it and they said, you know what, as a team, but then you look at West Coast Eagles as a team, but there was two that stood out. All right. Now, Essendon, they had a pretty mediocre year. And,
mate, I'm telling you now, you're saying that, right? But I'm telling you now, McGovern had a fucking good year, mate. McGovern had a great year. And the other one was, look, Jake Waterman, hey, there's an argument about him. He kicked 50-odd goals, right? Mate, Curnow kicked more goals than him this year. Why didn't he get ahead of him? So there's that argument there, you know what I mean? That's right. Who knows why he got it.
But that's the thing, right? It's going to happen every year. Like I hang my hat on this one, and I get told off by my missus for bringing this up every 25 minutes. I reckon I bring it up in our household. But I think it was 2022 or 21. It was 22, I think it was. Charlie Curnow was the All-Australian full forward. He won the Coleman medal that year, so fair enough. So he should be. Tom Lynch finished 1 goal behind him. He averaged the most contested marks in the competition. I think he had the most contested marks in the comp that season. He didn't make it at all, but somehow Tom Hawkins, with less contested marks and less goals, made it and captained the team that year. And I was thinking, well, how the fuck does that work? He statistically, Lynch was a better player. But again, like it's you're gonna get those ones every year where someone doesn't get
Selectors.
You're never gonna. I think Richo was a selector that year, but you're never gonna get it right. That's the point. There's always players that are stiff, and at the end of the day, it's opinionated. Like it's just an opinion. It's not factual. Like Gawn being the All-Australian ruckman isn't factual that he was guaranteed 100% the best player in the comp in that ruck spot. It's an opinion. It's a favourable opinion, but it's an opinion.
What would be really interesting? What would be really interesting is to see at the on the Brownlow night. All right, you look at the All-Australian team, and you look at how many the players that were chosen, and then you compare notes and you say to yourself, all right, you know what? You know that Bontempelli, Cripps, Dacos, Treloar are going to be 4 players that are definitely going to be, hitting some big points on the day. And then you look at McGovern, you say to yourself, well, how did McGovern get? Because you think to yourself, well, if McGovern doesn't get many points on the day of the Brownlow, he should be getting more points than any other West Coast Eagles player, right? That's what is supposed to be happening. That's right. So it doesn't. It's only based on who actually has had the best game in that position. So when you look at, and of course, that's why Rocco pointed out the fact about Nick Dacos, and that makes sense, right? Yeah, so it goes to show you that certain players do miss out. And if you've had a shit year, you shouldn't be expecting any of your players to be there unless they've really stood out. And as Rocco pointed out, McGovern did stand out.
He did stand out, but he won't get votes because Backman rarely get votes in the Brownlow anyway. So he's not going to get votes. And then Brownlow's different. You get more votes. You rarely get votes. Not rarely, but less likely to get a vote if you lose games. All right. So, it's hard to get votes. So your backman forwards aren't really going to get a lot of votes unless you have, for example, Jeremy Cameron will get probably 3 votes for the last game. He kicks 9, but you have to do that sort of effort to get a free voter from the umpires as a forward, Midfielders are right under their nose, mate. That's why they get picked. Everyone's known it for ages. It's a midfielders thing. It's a midfielders kind of award, so.
Well, I'll tell you what. I reckon that this year, Cripps and Matty changed his mind more often than changed underwear, hopefully. Hey, Lana, I love you, and one day we're going to have another drink together. I was going to say that I've got a feeling that Cripps and Nick Dacos are going to both win the Brownlow. They're going to both draw and they even, and they're going to both win the Brownlow this year.
Who?
Cripps and Nick Dacos.
There's a chance. I mean, you're not the first person that said that. They'll be close. They'll be there.
I'm the first person to say it on Fourever Rivals, Rocco.
Maybe, but I think a few people have said that, like they'll be close. So, look, I think Cripps have got a big chance for Brownlow because he did actually. He was he was the best player on the ground on the games that we lost, So he's definitely going to get a 1 or 2 there, and that's where I think your Brownlow is won a lot of the times. Is if you can vote on those losing games, yeah. So and they've won both the same sort of games with Dacos and Cripps. I think we won News drew 2 games, so. It'll be close, but then there's always, I'm telling you, Neil from Brisbane, he always polls well, man. That bloke's going to get votes. And then you got Bontempelli, he's missed out a couple of times. I love him. He's right under, but he gets a lot of the ball, man. It's hard not to notice him, mate. It's hard not to notice him.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a really great spectacle.
The Brownlow, I really don't care. To me, it's about.
I like the red carpet. I enjoy the red carpet on the Brownlow. That's a good feature for the night.
You say you don't care, Rocco, but I can tell you right now I can tell you right now that if Carlton beats Brisbane, right, and you keep going in the finals and you're progressing, it's okay. But if Carlton misses out, right, then you'll think to yourself, you know what? All right, we've missed out. But if Cripps wins the Brownlow, you think to yourself, you know what? That's a great achievement. As a
I'm not saying it's not a good
Cripps wins
achievement.
the
I'm not saying
Brownlow. Wiedemann gets in the fullback position. All Australian. You'd be wrapped. You'd be confident, Rocco, that if
of course,
like
you
was saying.
First of all, it's Wiedering. That's the first thing. Let's get that right. Let's get the name right. It's not Wiedemann. I know who you're Wiedering. Second
that's
of all,
the Essendon player. That's the Essendon player. Wiedemann.
Second of all, I said it and I'll say it again. So don't tell me what I'm thinking or what I'm not thinking, Manny. All right, because I know you try to be smart. Just worry about your remarks. I told you personally, I don't give a fuck about them anymore. We've won all those awards. We've won Brownlow. We've won Coleman. They mean nothing, mate. It's a team thing now, man. It's all about team success, man. I really don't care about he can win it and I'll be, yep, that's good. And then the next day, trust me, I will not think about it.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there, Rocco. Brownlows, All Australian, MVP awards, all of that kind of stuff. It's good to to listen and watch it and have your views on that. But at the end of the day, you know what's most important, as you were saying, Rocco, is winning a grand final. Mate, and they're very hard to come by, mate.
Fucking over there, man. And we were discussing this. If you come to the live show, which was a great show, everyone that was there, and they were talking. Wiggins was talking, and Wiggins said the same thing. He said, mate, one thing that he said that resonated with me was he said, as supporters, you're not entitled to anything. You are owed zero. And just because you finished fourth last year or third, that doesn't automatically mean that you're going to finish 2 spots higher the next year, right? That's not how it happens. He said, he goes, finals and premierships are fucking hard to win, right? And then I'm 50, I'm 54, right? And I've physically seen 4 grand finals. That's one every 11 or 12 years. That's what I've physically seen, not when I was like 1 year old, right? Physically seen. They're fucking hard to win, mate. So everyone that sits there and says, oh, like I've heard you say, Mark, oh, you should have finished in 4th. It doesn't work like that. Footy doesn't work. You're not entitled to climb the ladder the year after. The year after, everybody starts at 0 again. And it all starts again, man. And you have to earn your right to play in finals. You have to earn your right to play in
You've got experts. We've all got experts out there, mate. It's just like, the Melbourne Cup, you've got experts and you've got horses there that are favourites. So it's like anything in football, a lot of people would have predicted Carlton, and I'm pretty sure your other boys will agree, to finish at least top 4. So
but
not saying that you're not going to.
Not entitled to finish top 4. But you don't think
I'm not saying you are entitled.
Supporters, you think that you're entitled. You're automatically. Everyone thinks that. What? You think that this is the climb? It's not like that. It's like this. And then if you're lucky, you'll hit one. Right? That's what it's all about. So what he was saying was spot on. Just because you finished in one, that's the same with you blokes, Mark. Like you finished just out of the 8. Are you entitled to make the 8 this year? It just showed that you weren't. Because
no. Not just out of the 8.
We're not entitled.
They finished 10th. What did you finish, 10th or 11th?
I think 11th. It was 11th.
Yeah, they didn't just miss out of the 8. They didn't insult me.
What I'm saying is, you're not entitled to fucking anything.
It was only 4 points, it was only 4 points.
It was 6.
First of all, it was 6 points. Stop trying to take it. And
we should have played. We should have played Collingwood.
We missed out by percentage.
It was 17% below the 8th spot. Mark, trust me, man. Worry about your backyard, right? But the problem is, as I said, it's fucking hard. Nothing's entitled to you. again, with this, you might say, oh, you know, Carlton, you just made it. You didn't deserve it. I'll tell you what, anyone that made the 8 deserved it. You had enough wins. And guess what? This week, no one's thinking about the St Kilda game. No one's thinking about the North game or any game that we lost during the year. You know what they're thinking about? This Saturday night. And that's what it's all about. It's a brand new season. And I spoke to those players and they said, soon as the season finishes, it's forgotten about and a brand new season starts. And finals is a brand new season. So that's what it's all about. But if you all reckon that, oh, yeah, you were supposed to do that, you're entitled to jack shit. Just like your life. You're entitled to nothing in your life. You have to earn every fucking step of your life. And if you think you're entitled, guess what, mate? You're going to fall flat on your face.
Well, hang on, Rocco. Hang on, Rocco. I agree partially with what you just said.
I don't give a fuck what you agree partially.
And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Now, at the end of the day, you get paid to do a job, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're expected, the moment you're getting paid to do the job, you're expected to do the job the right way, yeah? Because if you keep making mistakes, you're pretty much out of a job, yeah?
Yeah.
So these players, at the end of the day, get paid, all right? That's their full-time career. They get paid to do a job. Now, I understand that in sport, it's different because you can only have one winner, right? And, you know, and unfortunately, you have injuries and you have other things that can change things around, yeah? But at the end of the day, those who miss out are disappointed. And those who don't miss out, you know.
You're starting to sound like Mark here. No one, who mentioned the word disappointed? Who mentioned that? Of course you're going to be disappointed. And if I've got a job and I get paid for it, I'm expected to do it. Who mentioned the word expected?
All right. So why are these players
not entitled to anything?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You're not entitled to anything.
What do you mean by that?
You have to earn that right. You're not entitled. You finish 5th. You're not entitled to finish 4th the year after.
No.
That's all I'm saying is you have to earn that right. No one is entitled. Fans think that, and don't worry, I get caught in that too. You just, we expect that. We're entitled to that. No, you're not entitled. You are owed nothing. The players don't owe you anything, mate. That's it, mate. Let them get and do their job. You know what I mean? And our job and playing a footy side is completely different. I get paid to do my job. I'm expected to do my job properly. If I'm not done properly, they will sack me. A player is the same. He's expected to perform at a certain level. If he isn't, guess what? Thanks for coming.
So would it be fair to say? So would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say that if, let's just say, for example, we've got the Bombers who narrowly missed out last year. This year they went even worse. So technically, you'd be saying they failed as a team. So you know what? Bang, get rid of all of them.
You can't get rid of all of them, but you're trying to tell me, and I'm gonna kind of defend Mark here, right? You don't think that Essendon are disappointed and think they failed this year? Of course they did. If you think you didn't fail this year, then there's something wrong with you. As a team, you failed this year. You wanted to make the 8. You didn't make the 8. Again, you failed. It's full stop.
We failed because obviously we're at a certain stage of the year where we were sitting up pretty up towards the ladder. But before the season started, not many experts predicted Essendon to finish in top 8. So we are about where we are. You know what I mean? So I was disappointed because we got to that level of making the finals, and I was disappointed that we fell behind. But at the end of the day, I thought, you know what? That's what I expected in some ways where Essendon were going to finish. So, again, what you're saying, Rocco, you know, you don't deserve this and you don't deserve that, but that's where we are and where we're about. Collingwood, on the second hand, I expected them to finish higher on the ladder, but unfortunately they lost. They failed. But they were expected to finish.
Year is a failure.
that was more of a failure than what Essendon was. And everyone keeps on bagging Essendon, you know. But at the end of the day, Melbourne, to me, failed. They expected to be top 8 this year, regardless if they made it or not, you know. But it's all about expectations. And, you know, Carlton, again, expected to finish top 4. You know, you go back 12 months ago and all these experts will say, yep, Carlton, 2nd, 3rd, you know. And to me, finishing 8th, I think that's a fail. I know what you're saying, Rocco, that, you know, you made the 8 and you deserve to be in the 8. I believe you fell into the 8. You didn't actually
there's certain situations why that happened, Mark. And this is what I say.
Well, injuries and so forth. We can go back to that. You know, Richmond as well.
And this is the reason why then all of a sudden, you know, you don't do it. And we were having this argument last night, having this discussion last night. We were saying that the goalpost has to shift during the year, because all of a sudden you're expected then something will happen, right? You've got to change. And I know your goal is always there. You're always going to want to end up there. But in reality, there's certain times of the year where you go, oh, wait a sec, that's not going to happen anymore. So you have to change those goalposts. You know what I mean? So,
but, you know, Mark, you said something about Melbourne. But I think you don't realise that Melbourne won the flag, 5-6 years ago?
No, about 3 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago.
4 years ago?
What do you think? Do you think Melbourne have just lost half their bloody side in 3 years, mate? They've still got the players that have won the flag 3 years ago, like Richmond. You know, obviously they won a bit more back to back. You know,
but they won the flag, and the flag is something.
Richmond to finish on the bottom of the ladder. Did you expect
Richmond? The flag is something hard. Look, the flag is not something that's easily won. All right. Now you look at Richmond. Richmond, they did it. They won 3, right? And they won it 3, and now for the next maybe 5 years, you won't hear anything about Richmond. Okay.
Good on Richmond. I wish I was in that position, but at the end of the day, just because you won 3 flags, what you got to now just be content that you're going to lose the next, 10 years of football and not make finals because you're content with 3. Richmond should be back up there, hopefully within the next 1 or 2 years, depending on their draft and their recruiting and program and so forth. But I expected Richmond, no matter what, not to finish on the bottom of the ladder this year. I expected them to finish at least close to where we are.
I expected Essendon to win. I expected Essendon to finish on top.
Top of the ladder.
I actually thought the Bombers were going to be finishing on top.
With these expectations and what people should have happened, again, like you can only ask now Quinn, and Quinn's been a bit quiet here. And again, you keep going. And look, they did finish on, and they deserve to be fucking berated for finishing last, man. No one wants to finish last. But Quinny will tell you, mate, there's reasons why they finished at the bottom of the ladder, man. So, mate, it's not that easy.
Rock, I know you went on a tangent about it last week, and I've spoken about it all year. We were never going to be a good side this year. I'm not trying to say that we would have been in the 8 or anything like that. But when you get decimated like we did with injuries, you're really playing football with 2 hands tied behind your back for a majority of the season. And we played with guys that were inexperienced and they were getting games into them. So it's, you don't want to finish bottom of the ladder, but if you got to take it, it's going to happen. You got to take the positives out of it and look to the experience that your players are going to get out of it. And, these young guys that otherwise wouldn't have had games if you had a healthy list. So I don't know. Yeah. Obviously you don't want to finish bottom. It's not an excuse. You don't want to finish bottom. I'm not saying I'm happy with the season or, well, is what it is. I'm still upset about it, but there's like you said, Rock, there's reasons. It's not like we just were bad and that was it. It's more to it.
Well, I think someone said here that you were expected, and I think a lot of people expected Richmond to finish bottom 4 this year, right? So you're going to finish bottom 4 just because of the way things were going. Then when you got those injuries, I mean, the likely that you're going to fall down to the bottom was high because you had a high amount of injuries. I reckon you kept all those players, you probably would have finished a couple of spots higher, you know what I mean? Because you would have won a couple more games, because I'm telling you, those players there that were missing were quality. How can people how can they deny that they weren't quality in your side. For fuck's sakes, mate. Like, your top end players are your top end players, mate. You can't beat that. And I look, fucking hell, man. And even with Carlton, when people, they want about injuries, man, I'm telling you, man, you take 5 or 6 of your top end players out of any side, and we'll see what happens to your side, man. So what do you think these top end players? Why do you think you pay so much for these players? Why do you think everybody wants it? Because they make a difference to your side. But anyway, let's move on.
Well, Scott, just quickly as well, because there are a few people in the comments are going off here, and I don't mind it. Scotty Tompkins there, Mr. 75 hours of the Jumper Punch football channel every week, has made a good comment here. He's gone, beat Sydney before suffering 5 ACLs. You know, so like not saying we would have been up there with Sydney throughout the season, but when we were a full strength side, we weren't awful. I tipped us finishing about 12th, 13th, right around there. People had us lower than that. I had us about 12th, 13th. To be completely honest with you, as much as I'm disappointed with finishing bottom of the ladder, I'd almost rather finish bottom of the ladder than teeter in the mid-card side of the table where you don't really get anything out of it. You just don't make finals, so you're still shit, but you get nothing good out of it. At least when you finish bottom, you may as well be really bad, get your number 1 pick and get those players in. So, yeah, again, there's a lot more to it than us just being bad.
So what you're saying is, I think you were basically directing that. You were directing that to Mark, that at the end of the day they finished 11th, and what have they achieved this year? Nothing, peanuts.
It actually wasn't a dig at Mark, but it was. I said it a couple of weeks ago. If you're not playing finals, obviously looking towards future seasons, you can look into it. But at the end of the day, if you don't make finals, you're just as unsuccessful as the next team that didn't make finals. So obviously there's more promise for teams like Collingwood and Essendon next year because of where you finished. But at the end of the day, you don't make finals. All three of us aren't watching our teams play this week. So it's as simple as that.
And the other thing is all those teams in 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, there's no guarantee they'll make the 8 next year. And there's no guarantee that the teams below them won't jump them next year. And the other, like you were saying, Carlton should have made it. But the problem is there's another fucking 7 or 8 teams who are also going to improve and who also want to make the top 4 and who also want to make the 8. You know what I mean? It's a fucking tough comp, mate. It's a tough comp, man. I've learned, man, this is a tough comp. All right, let's move on. We'll talk about something that now what happens this week, Mark, is there's finals. So what happens is after you finish the home and away, you get to play some other games. I don't know. I know that you don't understand that, but that's what happens this week. It's called week 1, right? It's called week 1 of finals this week, right? So we'll go into week 1. So have you seen that word before? Can you see it? The one that says 2024 Toyota AFL Finals Series. Have you seen that?
Oh, yes. So
there's a second qualifying final. Second qualifying. That means you qualify for a preliminary.
That's right. So those teams finish in the top 4.
So these two finished. These finished second and third here. So that's what happens. So what happens, Mark, is you've actually got to finish higher than 11th. In actual fact, you've got to finish higher than 9th. One day you'll get it. One day you'll actually get I'm trying my best. You get some sort of leaders in your club who actually are gonna strive to do something. But Quinny, this is your job.
It is my job. Well, it's a special job now with finals around the corner, a couple of days away. We start off Thursday night. It's tomorrow night, actually. It snuck up. Thursday night, Adelaide Oval, 7:10 p.m. Port Adelaide take on the Geelong Cats. It's going to be an absolute ripper. It's going to be a ripper. And there's a lot of pressure on Port Adelaide heading into this game. A lot more pressure than what is on Geelong.
I think so too. Like, to me, this is almost a 50-50. Port have got the home ground advantage, but to me, I think Port have got the advantage in the midfield. They got the spread. They're quick on the outside. They got the people like Butters and Horn Francis coming through the centre. They got Wines, But Geelong, Geelong are just they're an experienced bunch of people. They're going to go up there, and as you said to me, like Port Adelaide, all the pressure in the world, they fail year in year out in finals. They fail year in year out in finals. So the pressure's going to be all on them, So yeah, you guys at the bottom, what do you think about this game?
Yeah. Rocco, spot on. You actually just took my thunder. You were saying everything about the home ground advantage, and I think Port's midfield are starting to gel together now with Horn, Francis, and Butters and Rosie. But yeah, I think Geelong had their time. They're always going to compete in the finals every year for the next probably 5 or 6 years. But Port Adelaide, they're a prelim kind of. They've lost a few games in the prelim lately, haven't they? So going on that, I think they will beat Geelong, but they won't get past the prelim. But they will beat Geelong this week at home by 30 points, 5 goals.
Yeah. So Port, where are we going here? What do you reckon, Manny? What do you reckon about the game, and what's your tip for this game?
Well, look, I saw the last game, Port against your mates there, Rocco. They did you a favour, and they beat a team that had the opportunity to play finals football. But Port is this year they've been very, very funny. It's been one of those funny seasons. They've been hot and cold. They've been sort of I don't know. I just don't like the style of footy they play. But having said that, look, they've done what they've had to do, and they've finished second on the ladder. But you know what? I've got a funny feeling that Geelong has got that little bit more experience, and Geelong has proven to be over the last 20 years the one team that is more consistent than any other team. Yeah, and they've got finals experience. I reckon Geelong's going to do this. They're going to get over the line by a couple of goals.
You say that, but Port's the only side that's won the last 6 games.
That's okay.
You know what? You say they're up and down, but in actual fact, their form is the best out of everyone coming into the final. So they've won their last.
But you know what? Though, let's not contradict ourselves there, Rocco, because at the end of the day, finals football is a different thing altogether. Yeah, we're not going to talk about last week Carlton losing against the Kilda. We're talking about finals football now. Yeah, so finals football is a completely different ball game. It changes everything. It really does. It changes everything. And for me, if you've got the experience to play finals football, I think this is the advantage that Geelong has over Port. So that's why I think Geelong's going to win by a couple of goals.
Quinny?
What do you reckon, Mark?
Mark's not going to give you much there. I'm like you, Rock, what you said before. I think it's a 50-50. If I did the flip of the coin, I probably would flip mine. I think it's going to be close regardless. Manny's not entirely wrong about Geelong's experience coming through and getting the job done, but I'm just going to go with the home ground advantage. I think the amount of pressure on Port Adelaide, the form that they're coming in with, I think they need to win this more so than Geelong do. So for me, I'm going to go Port in a close one.
And what did you say, Manny? Are you going Geelong, are you?
Yeah, I did say Geelong. Rocco, thanks for paying attention to me. And as you can see in my background there, I'm actually working out of the old Channel 10 studios where they used to record Prisoner. So, I'm just going through a tour. So for all those viewers who are asking the question, here's to give you...
Yeah, I'm going Port too, just because of the home ground advantage. I'm going to go Port. I think it's one in the middle, and most games will be one in the middle this week, and that's what finals football is about. I can give you some other stats. you know, like I'll use this for Carlton, but in previous 25 years, teams that have had the most chaos ball, and chaos means when the ball is uncontested and the ball's out instead of like hitting targets. I think it's about 85% of teams have won the grand final and finals with chaos ball. And so there's only been a few teams, and Geelong has been one of those teams. And I think Hawthorn's the other one where they control the ball a lot more. Collingwood did it last year with their chaos ball. Richmond were known for their chaos ball, and that's how they won a lot of their finals. So I think it all depends on that. But I think out of the midfield, I think that Port's got it. Port's got a great midfield, and they got that outside run. So if Geelong can somehow stop that, and you know, they get Stewart into the game, he starts in the midfield and goes back. We'll see how he goes. So to me, it's Port. All right, let's go. This is going to be another big. They're all big games this week, man. I love finals.
They're all huge.
Yeah.
This one
They're
here.
all huge. I'm hopefully going to be at this one, but we got the Friday night, the only final this week in Melbourne. The second elimination final. Western Bulldogs take on Hockball. Friday, 6th of September, 7:40 p.m. at the MCG, and this, like you said, Rock, is going to be an absolute blinder.
Yeah. So this is another one. So what's your view on this, Quinny? What do you reckon? Since you are a Bulldogs person.
That's it. Look, I think it's going to be an unreal game, almost another 50-50. Most of the games this week, I feel, just about are, to be completely honest with you. I think Hawthorn have got that young, exciting style of football where they're just going to come in hot. But I think sort of what Peter said here, I think the Dogs have a bit more star power. I think they've got a bit more experience when it comes to playing finals football, and I think they should get themselves over the line, the Bulldogs here, but it could honestly go either way. But for me, the Dogs will get this one.
Yeah, you guys.
I think Hawthorn is riding that little wave called Cloud 9, and right now, they're a team that's got no superstars, no real superstars. It's a team that's just basically playing amazing footy. They seem to be hitting targets. They seem to be, they can do whatever they like at the moment, and they're playing with no pressure, and I think that makes a big difference. So for me, I think even though Bontempelli and Treloar have both had magnificent season this year, and I know that the Bulldogs have got a little bit more experience when they're playing against a young side like Hawthorn. But you know what? I'm not going to spoil Hawthorn's little ride at the moment. They're riding pride quite high. So Hawthorn for me.
Marco.
Yeah, well, obviously, midway through the year, I don't think anyone expected Hawthorn to make the finals at least this year. But kudos to them, mate. It was great effort to see them make the finals. And they actually remind me a little bit of the Baby Bombers '93, to be quite honest, the Hawthorn football team at the moment. But I think the Bulldogs, again, as the other boys mentioned, I think they've just got that little bit more finals experience. And I think that they'll win by 5 goals as well. So I've got them for 5 goals, the Bulldogs, this Friday night at the G. But it's going to be a great game.
Look, I'm going to go and we got Scotty. He reckons he saw Will Day filling up his Hilux next to me at the servo, so he's always up and about. Even at 0-5, the Hawkeyes were contenders, Mark. Just remember that. They were always
no, they were contending. They were contending, but they weren't contenders.
Yeah. Look, hey, Mark, don't confuse Rocco. All right, just keep it simple.
I know. I don't want to confuse you, mate.
If you were contending, that means you're a contender.
Oh, right, all right. It's
not necessarily,
Rocco.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You can ask anyone the same question.
If
I'll
you're
bet you.
contending, it doesn't mean you're a contender. It doesn't even make sense, Manny. I thought you were smarter than that.
Not necessarily,
Come on,
Rocco.
Yeah.
Not
It's the way
necessarily.
it's the way you word it to somebody, Rocco. It's the way you word it. And
What
most
word?
people
A
agree with me.
contender. If you are contending something, if you are a contender, if you are contending something, you are a contender.
Correct.
You just put it in the first.
Doesn't
in
mean
the
that you're a
first sentence.
contender.
You
That's
are
right.
contending.
That's right.
You're
Once in the
contending,
pretense.
yeah, but it doesn't mean you're a contender.
I could swear this is every Wednesday. It's like the fucking Twilight Zone here, mate. It is unbelievable. Let's not, my God.
Where's that bottle of scotch?
When you
Where's
are
that bottle of scotch?
contending, but you are contending, which means you are a contender. No, you're not a contender, but you're contending. My
That's right.
God. All right, let's move on. I just want to go. I'm going to go to dogs too, because the reason I'm going to go to dogs, again, midfield. This year, the Dogs have got one of the best midfield, and those actually the Hawks, their midfield isn't that great at all, right? The Hawks have been winning their game. They win a lot off transition and turnover. So I think they're number one in both categories, right? So that's where the Hawks will win the game if they take it. But finals are won in the middle of the ground, mate. And if they can't stop the Doggies out of the center, they're done. I think they're done, you know. So I think the Dogs are going to work on this. They're going to make sure that they win those center. If the ball gets to like transition and it gets to turnover, once they get that, the Hawks just run in waves, right? They're a forward, you know, they're a forward half team. So to me, I think that the Dogs are going to have it just because of the midfield. So, and just a little bit more experience. But if the Hawks win, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I'm going to go Dogs, and I definitely go Dogs. And they are contending, but apparently, if you're a contender, you're not a contender. You're contending, but you can't be the contenders are. I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. Let's go. The first qualifying final, first place fourth.
Again, we've said this a couple of weeks in a row, but this is primetime footy, Saturday afternoon, 3:20, the perfect time slot. Battle of the Bridge, Sydney take on the GWS Giants. And if I'm not mistaken, people in the comments will no doubt call me out. I don't think the Swans have beaten the Giants in a final. So if that's true, my knowledge is correct, then this is a massive, massive game.
I think you're right, but it's definitely the last three, but I don't know how many more they've played. So it's definitely the last three, but the Swans have got it over him in the last two or something in the home and away. So it's a bit even, but you're right. If I was the GWS, I'd be using that. I'll be using, they haven't beaten us in a final. They won't, you know. So that's the thing, yeah. So who are you going for, Quinny?
Another flip of the coin, Rock, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I think I'm going to go the Swans. I don't know. I just think it's been their flag to win all year. So I see them getting all the way to the final game in September. So I'm going to go the Swans.
Yep. You guys, Manny?
You know, I agree with Quinn. I think Sydney reminds me a lot of Collingwood last year, where we got smacked hard by the Hawthorn Football Club, and then we came back and did what we had to do. And I think Sydney got a good spanking when they lost by 100 points, was it, or thereabouts? So I think Sydney's also playing at the SCG, so that will give them a little bit of an edge. Sydney for me. But having said that, you got that superstar that's kicked a lot of goals for GWS. So if he has a ripper game, it's going to be definitely a close one. But I reckon the Bloods by a goal.
Marco?
Yeah. Oh, look, the Giants to me, They're full of run at the moment. I think they're the fittest side in the competition, to be quite honest. And I think they will outrun Sydney. I don't think Sydney's form has been that crash shot towards the end of the year, and I think they're starting to get a little bit cooked. So I think GWS will outrun and run over Sydney by 30 points, 5 goals again.
I'm going to go Sydney. I just think they're getting some players back. Pabley, I think, is a definite in, and I think there's another player that's going to be a definite in. I can't remember, but he was an important player. If I can just remember, if anyone can tell me in the chat. I think with those players back, being at Sydney, they do play that ground pretty good. So, yeah, I'm going Sydney. I think Sydney have got it. This game. They've got this game anyway, and GWS are playing really good. They're an attacking side. They a bit like the Hawks. They run in waves. When they're running and they play that forward half game, they're almost unstoppable. Yeah, but I think Sydney have just got the experience to win it. So I'm going Sydney. So let's. We'll see how we go. And of course, the most important game of the weekend, the last game of the week, Saturday nights.
Da 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 da.
Quinny?
There we go. Yeah, well, I thought let you take this one away, Rock, but I will go. It's Saturday, 7th of September, 7:30 at the Gabba. Familiar territory for Carlton supporters in a final. It was the last final they played up there, so a lot riding on this. They owe the Lions one, and if the selection rumors are true, they could be due to get a fair chunk of their best 22 back in the side this Saturday night. So massive, massive, massive game.
It is going to be a massive game, and it's going to be closer than what people think, but we'll leave it to you. What do you reckon?
It's good. I wish I had the selection news confirmed right in front of me. I know I'll let you talk about the big news about who's going to be back this week, but again, I think I'm just going with, I don't even know if you call it the safe option, but just because of home ground advantage, I think Brisbane play the Gabba really well. I'm going to go Brisbane, but yeah, I'm really not confident in when I say that, but Brisbane is what I'm going to go with.
Manny?
Well, look, I'm not going to go against two of my favourite girls on the show, Lana and Matula. I said this at the start of the year, that Carlton was one of the contenders. Injuries overtook their whole last 7-8 weeks.
Or are we contenders?
Listen. You want to speak English, or you
I don't know.
All right. So, I think the great news with as we'll let Rocco speak about a couple of players that are coming back on. But I think, Carlton's going up there with nothing to lose. Yeah. I think last year it was a bit different. They had their chance and they stuffed up. This year, I think they're going there with a different type of attitude. So I think Carlton's just going to get over the line by a goal.
I think Scotty's got it right, mate. Manny's trying to butter up the ladies after that despicable performance earlier on. Yeah,
come on, Scotty. Don't be like that, mate. Don't be like that. Come on.
So you're going to go Carlton, are you?
Yes, mate. I'm going for the da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
I think Manny, that's got a little bit to do with. I think Manny, that's got a little bit to do with the missus. I think, mate. I think she's got your arm fucking twisted there, mate, for some reason. But anyway, like you were saying, Rocco, I think it does come down to the midfield, and I think Brisbane have got a better midfield than Carlton. And I did tip Brisbane, to be honest, to make the grand final this year, and I'll think that they're going to cook the shit out of those spuds this week. And I think the Brisbane Lions will win not by 5 goals, by 10 goals. They will absolutely smash Carlton this week. Carlton, they deserve to be in the 8. Brisbane, will make you guys pay. 10
So
goals,
who's in
Brisbane.
their midfield, Mark?
Midfield has got a better midfielder than what Carlton's got. So
Yeah, who's in their midfield?
McLuggage, Neil. There's quite a berry. There's quite a few.
Who are they? Since they've got a,
I don't
since they've got a.
who the players are. All I worry about is my players. Looking at statistics and looking at the facts in the midfield, Brisbane has got a better midfield than Carlton.
Marco, stop collaborating. I don't want to hear. You've had your say. I don't want to hear it. I've asked you a simple question.
You interrupted me now, mate.
You stopped. You stopped and you said we're going to lose. I'm asking you one simple question. For fuck's sakes, Mark.
Yes.
Who's in their midfield?
Yes.
Who is it?
Lockie Neal, McLuggage,
Yeah.
Berry, Ashcroft. They've got a few other young little players that can get in between the midfield, but I don't barrack for Brisbane. But looking at their statistics and their facts,
you make the statement
their
and
midfield,
then
their midfield is a lot more dangerous than Carlton. Now, Carlton, while we're at it, Rocco, Carlton, do you know what players are coming back? What they got?
I don't know exactly what players are coming back, but I can tell you
a
few things about. I can tell you
that they should bring those 6 or 7 players back in.
You don't let me fucking talk.
You don't let me fucking talk.
Well, I run the show. I do whatever the fuck I like.
Do you think that they should bring? Okay, well, I'm asking you, do you think that they should bring the 6 or 7 players that you think that are part of the 22 or 23 players in the team back into the side this week?
Of course.
It's not an under the pump question. I'm sorry. It's not an under the pump question.
Of course they should.
They should bring all those 6 or 7 players. So that's a lot of changes.
They're not ordinary players, bro. They're not ordinary players. But what?
You're bringing in 6 changes. You're bringing in 6 changes. That's not really heard of in football.
You wouldn't bring your 6.
It's a lot to change.
Is it?
Yeah. Well,
why?
Look, I mean, maybe other players might be more deserving to play. But
more deserving than Mackay, more deserving than Mackay, more deserving. See what you don't understand, are they
going to be 100%? Are they going to be 100% fit, Rocco? That's the key these days. You put players in your side that are really not 100% fit, and that can cost your team.
I could swear I thought I was in the middle of my explanation before you added more of your fucking rubbish there.
Yeah. So on the game, just quickly. So I believe that Brisbane's midfield is better.
Wait a second. You finish your explanation. You asked me a question. Shut the fuck up before I take you off, Mark. Shut the fuck up.
So answer the
question. Asked me a question. Shut up.
Have I answered?
Shut up. Shut up. Are we done?
We're done. Yeah.
Shut
Brisbane
up.
by 10 goals.
For fuck's sakes, mate. You asked me a question. The players you are talking about have only missed 2 to 4 weeks. They haven't missed a fucking year. McGovern's only missed 2, right? Harry and Thig have only missed 4. Williams has only missed 2. Like, it's not like they've missed a season. The only ones you will be talking about is TDK and Doherty. And and I know you're going to ask me this. Well, guess what? Doherty's playing, mate. Doherty's playing, and I would play him every day of the fucking week if he's ready, because we talked about this last week, right? So the first thing is we'll talk about Doherty. Doherty plays because Doherty will give more to that team than anyone he's replacing. So it's simple. It's simple. So if you replace someone like a Carroll, right? Carroll's going to give you like 15 possessions, maybe a goal. Doherty will give you that. But what he gives you as far as leadership and that extra 1% is what, and his leadership on the ground is just way. So we talked about this last week, Quinn, where we said if he's done everything and he's ready to go, you're playing, because it's not like a soft tissue injury where you might risk a reoccurrence. It's a knee. He might do a knee fucking walking down the stairs, he might do a knee in a practice match. It's got nothing to do with it. So he's ready to play. Great pickup. They got it out of the way straight away. You saw the video as soon as they told the players they were playing. They were absolutely so they'll give the other players are. I'll tell you who's going to come in. You got McGovern. Of course, you're going to bring McGovern in after 2 weeks. That's not even a fucking question. You're going to bring Harry in, of course, man. Of course, you're going to bring Harry in, right? You're going to bring fucking Williams in. He's only missed out fucking from a calf only a couple of weeks, so he's ready to go. Right. And now the one is that TDK is been training well. If he's ready, you play him. You play him. The question is, do you play 2 rucks? So the question is, do you play 2 rucks or do you play 1 ruck? You know, so it all depends on Charlie. To tell you the truth, I don't think Charlie will play. I don't think Charlie will be the one who's not playing. So Charlie won't play. They'll play the 2 rucks. As far as your midfield goes, and midfield has absolutely dominated their midfield. In contested ball, we're actually above them. So in your statement doesn't make sense. First of all, it's ridiculous. The ball will be won in the center. And I think if we win that ball in the center, mate, we got as big as a chance, mate. They have been very flaky this year. The bloody Brisbane Lions, mate. They've been very flaky this year. And they've shown in the last 3 games, mate, they miss a lot of goals. Mate, their forwards aren't reliable at all. I think our backmen will absolutely hold them. It's all about the midfield. Can we win? And people like Cribs in there and Hewitt's had a great year, mate. You put in Walsh has had a good year with a sore hip, and he's had a good year. You put Akers. He's a finals beast, mate. Just proved from last year. He's had a good year. Mate, everyone's speaking, this is just a whitewash, mate. Brisbane have got more to lose, mate. They're under pressure, man. They made the grand final, right? They made the grand final. Now they just make 5th. If they lose and go out straight sets, not only is it problems for them, mate, the coach has then all of a sudden got problems because he's failed the last 6 years. He can't get them to the big dance and win it. So they've got a lot of pressure. The other thing is, remember at the start of the year with this same team, we beat them when we were 46 points behind. That's going to be in the back of their head, mate. I'm telling you. When Manny said they got nothing to lose, I kind of disagree with that, Manny. You've always got something to lose. But I know what you're saying. We're going to go in there, and if we lose, everyone's going to say, well, you were expected to lose, right? But if Brisbane lose, it's going to be the story of the week, mate. They'll be fucking devastated. If Hawthorn lose or Doggies lose, everyone. Brisbane have got the most to lose out of all 8 sides this week. And trust me, they'll go in there and they'll be under pressure, mate. And I believe we'll go out there. And, of course, I think we're going to win. Mate, and bringing in back those players, like everyone goes, should you bring back those players? It's like the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life. Are they underdone? If they're underdone, they're not playing. That's why I don't think they'll play Curnow. They're not silly. But those players that have that you think they weren't up to it, were almost ready to play 2 weeks ago. So they're giving them another 2 weeks and they're ready to go, mate. Of course you're bringing those players. Are you an idiot? Fucking Mackay, TDK, McGovern, Williams, and maybe Curnow, but I don't think Curnow's going to play.
Rocco, are you saying that those players that are coming in potentially were ready to play 2 weeks ago?
Well, fucking Charlie got pulled out the last minute and then he doesn't play, right? Yeah. Mackay and McGovern got pulled out last minute. He was a late withdrawal from thing. Williams, they said that he was ready to go and they held him back and they didn't play. So these players are ready. I didn't go to training, but Paul and they went to training. I'm thinking, mate, they're flying on the track. They're ready to rock and roll, mate. They're ready to go, mate. These players are ready to go. That's not the issue. And they're not scared of Brisbane. I'm telling you now, they're not scared to go over there. They're not scared to go over there. They proved it in round 1, and that's going to go a long way into this final. And so there you go. And I think we'll win it in the centre. Brisbane is, if you know the Brisbane ground, it is a centre square game, mate. It's all about the centre, winning it out of the middle, right? Winning it out of the middle. They've got some good midfielders too, don't get me wrong, but I think we'll match them easily. It's about who's going to kick, and I think you're saying 10 goals because you got no idea what you're talking about, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think. This is going to be a nail biter right to the end, man. So yeah, there's my synopsis of the game.
All right, good luck. Good luck to Carlton. You're the only one that's still in the running for the season 2024. Now, I hate to say goodbye, but I actually have to unfortunately depart as I start work in approximately 7 minutes. However, if I can,
wait, before you go live and finish, shut up. Who's got the most finals experienced players in the final series now?
Well, you have to say Geelong.
Geelong, what do you reckon,
Geelong,
Mark?
Sydney.
Geelong, what do you reckon?
Maybe Geelong or Port. Geelong and Port.
The most finals players.
The most.
Carlton.
No.
You're absolutely right, mate. 29 players have got experience. 28. The least is Hawthorn on 12. Port's got 26.
Never
I know
snagged yet.
Either is Port. What's that got to do with it, you fucking idiot? I just seriously, I need to have a drink. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying about you hear people go, oh, do you deserve to make the mate? Building finals experience, mate, from last year, we get another 20 odd players who are going to get another game under their belt. You know what I mean? Even if you lose this game, it goes a long way into next year and the year after. Teams like Collingwood, you can't say yes to them, but teams like Collingwood and Richmond, mate, you were in the finals for years before you made it and you cracked one, yeah? So, mate, I know that you think that Carlton's got no finals experience, but, mate, 29 players, mate, I think nearly every player there, unless they play some of the youngsters, like I think Cooper Lord might stay in. He'll get a game. I hope they keep Moyer in. I like Moyer as a forward, so I'd put him. It's going to be all about who the forward line. I think Zach, do they bring in Martin? He's the other one, Martin. He's ready to go. I wouldn't play Martin. But he's another one that's ready to come in, you know, and he'll make an impact if he does come in. So, as I said, everyone reckons that Carlton's got no experience, but coming in last year and playing 3 finals, mate, does a world of good to this team. So, you know what? This is what I've got to say. Bring it on, Bubby. Bring it on, mate. Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm telling you, even last year, when did we play our best football last year? When we're under the pump. Every game, we needed to win every game, mate. And in the second half of the year, we were under the pump and we fucking come through. And we're one of those teams. We're one of those teams that play best when we're under pressure. And guess what? We're under pressure again. You know what I want Brisbane to do? I'll give them a challenge. I know they're all watching this. I'll give them a challenge. Take us lightly. Take us lightly. Take us lightly and see what happens. Let's go, the Blue Boys. Manny, what did you have to say?
Look, good luck to Carlton. I said
you off to go and see Abby interviews, are you?
Yeah, I am, matey. Now, I was going to say, can I quickly make everybody laugh before I go, or is that okay, or is it not part of the script?
Nah, you can do it. I suppose you got to go and do your script, and then we'll finish off with Under the Pump.
Yeah, all right. Well, so a young bloke's upstairs with his young lady, and they've been at it for about 4 or 5 hours in the bedroom. And anyway, poor bastard, he's ended up getting his balls were chafing. So he rings up a mate of his and says, "Oh, look, you know, I've got a problem." And his mate says to him, "Go downstairs and fill up a glass of milk and dip him in a glass of milk." So he thought, all right. So he's gone downstairs and he's grabbed a glass and he filled it up with milk, and you know he dropped his pants and he dipped his ball sacks in the glass of milk. Anyway, the young lady's walking down the stairs and looks at him and says, "Aha! That's how you fill it up."
All right, very good. That's not bad. Not bad. Not the best, but not bad.
Love yous. Leave yous. Good luck to the Blue Baggers. And remember, every team at the moment are contenders.
Not every team, only the 8.
Well, that's what we're talking about now, Rocco. The season's over, yeah? Every team who's in the 8 are now contenders.
Well, apparently, I've got to go and work it out.
Or, if they're not contenders, they are still contending for the flag. Gotta go. Love yous.
See you, mate. All right. Yeah, I know. That's true, man. That joke is from 1979. He must be pulling them out of nowhere, those fucking jokes, mate.
You must have an old joke book, mate. You must have an old joke book.
Yeah, make sure you hit the fucking like buttons. Come on, don't be a bunch of bums, right? Don't be a bunch of bums. It doesn't cost you anything. You absolute losers in the fucking chat. If you haven't pushed the like, you are losers. It doesn't cost you anything. Hey, even push the down one. I don't care. All right. What do you got there?
Mark mentioned joke books, right? I just picked up this joke book right here. It's from the Richmond podcast, and they do jokes at the end of every episode, and they've got a book with all the jokes that they've ever told. I had it sitting right next to me. So you talk about joke books, I've got one right here, ready to go.
Well,
so Manny's joke.
Quinn can do the joke next week. Quinn can do the joke next week.
No, if Manny's jokes are shit, I'll come in with backup. I've got this ready to go.
You've got a shit joke and come up with a backup.
Yeah.
Carl's is going to the game. Who is going to the game this week?
I tried to go.
Which one?
Carlton.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was looking. Nah, they went to the prelim last year. It was a bit much to go again. We were looking at flights and everything, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And the prelim, I think they're still recovering financially from the prelim last year. So it's but no, it's really. But it's funny. I just got because I know you're all about it, Rock. I just got a memory sent to me during the show. Someone told me to bring this up, a Richmond supporter. From 2019, you won't be able to see it, but it's a video of that was me at the Gabba for the final a couple of years ago in 2019. So it's bringing back memories, talking about finals at the Gabba. It's good.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good first quarter for us. It was a good first quarter. It was a good final series, to tell you the truth. Very proud of the boys that year. And like I said this last night, people might say you scraped in and that. When people talk like that, I really lose complete respect for them because it means you understand nothing about sport because it takes a lot to get there, and circumstances mean that certain things happen during the year where things change. So to me, I'm actually, mate, 3 or 4 weeks to go, man. Everyone was saying it. Just make it to the 8. Get your 2 weeks off, get some players back, and then we see what happens. Then we do it, and people turn around and go, "Oh, didn't deserve to make it." Like, fuck, you can't win, mate. You can't win. You know what I mean? And then you get people like Mark, because it doesn't matter what happens, right? So imagine we make it to a preliminary and lose, Mark would stir you, even though his side hasn't won a final for 20 years, right? And that just shows how uneducated he is. But I suppose we've got to have one.
It's all about rivals, mate. It's all about rivals, mate. I'm not going to accept that. If you guys lose the prelim, Steve, shit, good on you. It's bad luck. I'm not going to sit there and go,
how can you say that when you're at the bottom of the barrel? That's like you're fucking a homeless person and you're stirring someone for living in a like 100,000 bashed up fucking house or something. Or you haven't got a car, you can't afford petrol, and someone drives past with a 1980 Toyota, right? That's right, and you're going, "Oh, you're shit." Really?
Well,
that's sad.
Maybe that person might be just that person might be just happy, and that person that's got a multi-billion-dollar business or multi-billion-dollar house is not happy because they're not getting what they want.
But you haven't, Mark. You haven't got a multi. Essendon are nowhere near it. How you can't stir anyone except for the only person you could give it to in this panel is maybe Quinn, and he's won 3 flags in the last 5 years. You can't give it to nobody. Zero. You've got nothing on nobody,
I'll continue
mate.
to give it to whoever I want. When you show me that Premiership Cup on your desk there, Rocco, then I'll shut my mouth. Until then, I'll keep on giving it to you boys until I keep on going.
And that shows what your mentality is.
Doesn't matter about me. What mentality, Rocco? At the end of the day, I hate Carlton.
I hate you are that bad because you're the type, right? See, you're the type. I know your type. I've dealt with people like you, Mark. You know what type you are? You bring people down to make yourself feel better. Yes, exactly what you do. Yes, you do. So what you do is you bring down other teams who are more successful than you to make your team feel better. But you know, at the end of the day, Manny comes up with this. You can't polish a turd, bro. And you've got to worry about your team doing anything. Your team is hopeless.
That's for me to judge. I just
no. That's not for you to judge.
Mate. That's for
everybody in the AFL world to judge. You
just don't like those teams.
The most unsuccessful team in the history of the game, almost.
That's okay. You can keep on going. You can keep on going with that, Rocco. But at the end of the day, I just don't like Carlton. That's all there is to it, mate. I'm sorry to say. It's very simple, mate.
How can you stir other teams?
Until you win the grand final. Until you win the grand final.
How can you stir other teams? Use a shit.
I'll keep stirring them.
I'll keep stirring Carlton. 11, percentage of 93. You've been 8,000 days since you won a final. Seriously, how can you even dare talk about another side? This is why. I'll keep going. This is why your team is a disgrace. Because you guys worry more about everyone else than your own back pocket.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do. Because if that was me and I'm finishing 11th other year, what you think I'm going to sit there and stir like a team that plays in finals?
Oh, you'll find a reason. You'll find a reason to back us. You'll say, why are they finishing second?
So you reckon if you play in finals and winning finals and I don't make it, you reckon I've got the balls then to say how pathetic you are?
I'm not saying you're pathetic, mate. I didn't say you're pathetic, Rocco. I did not mention that once at all. I just don't like Carlton, mate. And I don't want him to win the flag for another 30 years.
You've got nothing on it.
Well, you haven't won a flag in 30 years, so I'll just keep going with that, mate. You can keep on bagging Essendon for the last 20 years.
All we can do is compete this week, and you can't even do that.
That's okay. Well, when we got the opportunity, we might do so.
But the problem is you had the opportunity and you failed your supporters again.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Exactly. That's okay. That's fine. I can accept that, Rocco. I can accept that.
You try to bag other supporters.
No,
I think you should worry about your backyard.
No, not supporters. I don't bag you, Rocco. I don't bag Quinn directly. I bag the club. All right.
No. If you're bagging my club, you're bagging me, mate. It's personal.
Just like you bagging Essendon. Right? You're bagging me then. Right. So there you go. Give and take.
You should take it personally.
I do take it, mate.
Yeah, I'm on the show every week. To be so uneducated and so dumb to follow a team that is so bad just shows your character.
What's got to do with education? Why do you have to be uneducated to barrack for a football team? Well, what's the essence?
Because any educated person will go, I could never follow a team that just is so pathetic.
It's called supporting your club, mate. It's called supporting your club. It's about supporting your club, regardless where they are on the ladder.
Let's move on. You've given me enough pleasure tonight knowing that you're another 365 days in the doldrums again. All right, under the pump. Go, Marco. Ask me a question.
No, it's not. You're no. I do rotating every week. Under the pump is the Quinn. Yeah. So, Quinn,
Mark,
where do you think Richmond next year will end up on the ladder? Honestly, and whatever position you choose, is it acceptable?
I'm not going to give an exact. I'm not going to give an exact number, but I do think it'll be. I do think it'll be bottom 4. I don't see us climbing up
again next year.
Yeah.
Do you think Richmond will be bottom 4 again? And do you think that you accepting that, or you just thinking, no? I realistically, you're saying bottom 4.
I think there's. Yeah, realistically, I'm saying bottom 4, but I think there's a difference between accepting it and being happy with it. I'm not happy with the fact that that's where I believe it will be, but I'm accepting of it because I understand the position that the club is in and where we're going to be at. Now, J-Dub in the comments has been pointing this out for a little while now, so I'll quickly address that as well. He asked if I'd be upset about Shea Bolton and Liam Baker leaving the club. Yeah, I'll be upset. They're great players. They're premiership players. They're stars. I love watching them play, but now that they're going to be out the door, then it opens the opportunity for more young players to come through. And we essentially, and I didn't want to be doing this, but we're essentially starting from ground zero. So I'm accepting of it. I'm not happy about it. I'm not stoked that that's the position we're in, but as a realistic answer, I do think that, we'll be bottom 4. Where in the bottom 4? I'm not sure, but I think we'll be bottom 4.
I think there's a difference between accepting and being realistic about where your team is at, right? So there's a difference between that. So you know where your team's at, and you know what you got to do to get to a certain stage. So that's how I would answer that question, man. In reality, like Richmond are in a rebuilding phase. It's like North Melbourne are rebuilding phase, and just like West Coast are rebuilding phase, So they're probably the teams at the bottom who are rebuilding completely. The others are trying to maybe load up their side and try to make the 8. And then the ones in the 8 would probably be, the bottom of the 8 are trying to make the 4, and then the 4 are trying to win it, and the whole 8 are trying to win it. And I think that's how you got to be realistic about where you're at, mate. Anyway, do you want me to ask you a question? I got a question for Quinny.
Yeah, you may as well back to back. Let's hit me.
It's pretty simple with those players leaving, right? So you've got a whole bunch, and you got those 3 that kind of come out. You got Bolter, you got Rioli, and there was someone else, I think maybe.
Yeah, Banks.
Yeah. Are you disappointed because they've won their flags, right? They've won their flags, right? And now they've left the sinking ship, Are you disappointed and think to yourself, like, shouldn't you? Why didn't you stay? Because you're the actual leaders that we need now. The club's given you so much, and now you just want to go, especially someone like Bolter. He's young, man. He'll be one of the leaders you expect to stay there and hopefully pay back something to the team.
Yeah, I think my mindset's been up and down about it. I think there's 2 answers. I guess one answer is I'm fine with it because I know that what we'll be getting in return will help the club sort of rebuild and before Tassie comes in. But in terms of am I disappointed about what they're doing to the club, then absolutely. You see Nathan Broad came out about a month ago, probably less than that now, and I absolutely loved what he said, that he had an opportunity to leave the club as well. And he said in an interview, he goes, I couldn't do it. Richmond picked me up as a mid-age recruit. They gave me an opportunity. I won flags with them. It just wouldn't sit right with me to leave now that we're 17th after what they provided for me and these opportunities they gave me. Now you look at Liam Baker as another example, right? He wants to go. We picked him up as a rookie. He didn't go in the draft. He was a rookie pick. And, we did provide that opportunity for him. And, you look at Shea Bolton and Rioli, what we've done for them. And, yeah, it's disappointing because they've come in, they've enjoyed the spoils, they've enjoyed the good times. And these guys aren't old enough to have been around when Richmond was shit, right? So you look at some of the older blokes that have all left now, like Dylan Grimes, Dusty, Koch, Jack. They were with Richmond when they were shit. Then they got success with us. If they had left and played 1 or 2 years at the end somewhere else, it doesn't upset you because they were there through the hard times and they fought with you and they got there. Now you got these young guys that have come, like Jack Graham, right, is a perfect example. He's trying to leave. Richmond's trying to keep him. But he's a perfect example of this because Jack Graham, he debuted, I believe, 4 or 5 games before the finals started. I think it was about 4 games before the finals started in 2017. So his first season was 4 or 5 home and away games, then a final series and a flag. He's played less than 10 games and he's won a flag, this guy, right? So all he knows, really, apart from the last year or 2, is success. So now he's gone, oh, geez, it's not going to stay like this. I might just jump the sinking ship and go, to me, it doesn't sit well. I've accepted the fact that they're leaving because I know what we'll get from it and it might benefit us. But no, it's not something you want to see. And you do feel like they're happy to ride the highs, but they're not ready to ride the lows. And that's they're the players you probably don't want at your club anyway, but at the same time, you don't want to see them leave. So nah, long story short, yes, it does bother me.
Yeah, no, and it's good because sorry, no, go.
Yeah, no, I just think there's a few deeper problems at Richmond. I think, obviously, your coach left mid through, last year. So that's a massive sign to just leave a club. Gale as well, the CEO is left now, obviously, better options there at Tassie. But I think it goes a bit deeper. Now you're losing some players as well that want to leave. So I think Richmond probably got some internal issues as well that they need to rectify very quickly because you've got a new coach now. And like you're saying, those players should have stuck fat and, kept on going, but they've left or they're looking at leaving. And I think there's going to be some serious issues at the Richmond Football Club for the next, I reckon, 4 or 5 years, mate. So hopefully it doesn't happen because we need these clubs up there and fighting like Carlton up towards the top 8 and, fighting for final spots. So, yeah, that's how I see it a little bit, Quinn. It's sad to see, but it's happening. I believe it's happening.
The Dimmer one, I know we've spoken about multiple times last year and this year. I'm still not happy with the way that all folded out. The Brendan Gale one, again, he's sort of in that category for me where he was there through all the shit and he rode with us all the way through, got us to where we got to. So for him to leave, that one doesn't bother me so much. You're disappointed you're losing a good football person. But again, he's from Tasmania. It's a family decision. It's a business decision. It makes sense for me for him to go back. But yeah, like you said, all the other ones, it does start to ring a couple of alarm bells. So hopefully,
a rollover effect as well, Quinn. It's a rollover effect,
that's the thing. We've lost so many experienced players. You're losing coaches,
Dusty Martin.
Yeah. So it's a complete. We're a completely new side. So you talk about. I know you've mentioned it a few times. I know you like to poke the bear as well because it's part of the theme, the rivalry, right? But you look at the list. We've got premiership players on our list, and we absolutely do. But if you look at the ones that are there, if you looked at our 2020 side and you looked at our team this year, 5 guys maybe that played that were in our 2020 side, they're there, but they're not enough. There's not enough of them to carry a team into the final series or even.
Might have lost that hunger.
Yeah, and there's that as well, and that's why these guys might be jumping ship because they're like, I don't want to play for a shit side, so who knows? But again, you want more players like your Nathan Broads that appreciate what the club has done for you and want to stick fat. And like Scotty said in the comment on the screen here, blokes like your Patrick Crippses that stick it out and see it. I think the difference is with some of these players is Cripps is one of those champions, right, that started at a club when they were at the bottom, like they were scraping the bottom of the barrel, and he's going to be one of those guys that leads and builds the club back up to where they need to be. Some of these guys that are leaving Richmond have come into a successful team. So they've come in being spoiled, essentially. They're the sports kid. That's what they are. Now that we're out of it, they're like, oh, nah, this sucks. Yeah, no shit, it sucks, mate. We're all feeling it. Stick it out, So, yeah, it is frustrating. I don't know if there's internal issues or if it's just it's all happened to landslide at the same time. I don't know what the problem is, but it's going to be a waiting game. So it's exciting, it's scary, it's all the above, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. As I said, like Scotty said it properly, I said it perfectly with Cripper. He had a big money offers from Western Australia, wanted to stick by. And this is why I believe that we will be a successful side if it's not this year, next year, because They did make a pack. The group made a pack, and that all the core players in Kerno and all that made a pact that they were going to stay until they won something, you know, and that's big to me. Hawthorn did it. They took pay cuts, and Geelong have done it. They took pay cuts to stay together. And this is why when you ask the question about Petrarca, I would love Petrarca to decide, would you trade Mackay? And the answer is no, for two reasons. First of all, where do you find a 6'8" running gazelle in the forward line? But the other thing is, mate, you've made a pact as a side. And what does it say to your team? We're trying to build this thing at Carlton where, you know, this winning mentality and this character in the side where you stick together, and then the first opportunity you get rid of one of those players to get someone else in. What does that say to the group? You know what I mean? So to me, sticking by, rebuilding, and this is why I asked you that question, because we've had it happen to us before with Henderson years ago. Oh, I want to leave to go to a successful side. Fuck you, you never won a premiership, so go and get fucked now. But if I could ever speak to him, I would say to him, well, you say that we weren't successful. Maybe it was people like you that made us unsuccessful. Because if people like you had stuck around, maybe we could have rebuilt quicker, you know what I mean? But when these people start leaving, man, it's a bit annoying, as you said, man. You've been successful. How about you pay it back a little bit now, you know? The club needs you, you know? But in saying that, you'll get your draft fix, you know, and you'll move on, you know? And if I say this to people, if you don't want to speak to me, or you don't want to be my friend, or you don't want to come and see me, I'm not going to force you, right? I don't want anyone here that doesn't want to be with me, you know? Same with a team. If you don't want to play with us, off you go, and we'll get the next person, you know, and eventually you'll find that team. Anyway, who's got a question? Last question from...
Yep, I've got one. Well, I couldn't decide, and you guys talking earlier in the night made me think of one, and it's technically a little bit for both of you. So covering Manny's question as well, right? So it falls in a little bit of both your categories there. We're arguing about it earlier in the night, and let's put what happens in the future, whatever it might be, put that aside, right? So obviously you were arguing before, Mark. You were saying how Carlton haven't won a flag since 95. Rock, you were saying how Essendon haven't won a final in 20 years. The question I have, and this is being all biases aside, would you rather have won a flag more recently? So would you rather be essentially not have won a final for 20 years, but have more recently won a flag, or have won a flag a lot longer ago, but won a final or two here or there? What position would you rather be in?
I'll answer that question straight away, mate. I couldn't give two shits about finals, mate. If at the end of the day, the flag is the most important thing, you know. 20 years without obviously winning a final, but next year we might win a final, and maybe another one after that, and another one after that, and we might win the flag. So to me, I'm a firm believer. Yes, you know, we all make finals every year. Teams make finals. Most important thing to me, mate, is that Premiership Cup. I'm sorry to say, boys, but you know, we can all make finals and get kicked out the first week, or make the prelim and you know, be successful in that. But no one really gives a shit. No one really remembers that. It's all about winning the flag. So that's my point of view. You know, yeah, obviously I would have loved to have won a few more finals in the 20 years. Don't get me wrong, it's been pretty hard, pretty harshful, pretty disappointing. 20 years is a long time. But if Essendon can win the flag next year, mate, I certainly would not even bother about those 20 years. That's for sure.
But of course, if they win a flag, you're not going to worry about the 20 years. Like, that's a ridiculous statement, right? That once you win your first final, that record goes away, right? So that doesn't matter. But to me, you say about winning flags. To me, it's being in a contender. To me, it's giving yourself a chance. And if you're not even getting there, how can you even give yourself a chance to win a flag? So you asked, would you rather win?
We haven't won a final. You're not saying, now you're saying we're not even making the finals. We've made finals. We just haven't won. You guys have made finals. You guys have made finals, but you haven't won the flag.
Anyway, why are we talking about me? I was just talking. I'm saying to me, my answer to this, right? You keep going. It's all about winning the flag. It's all about contending.
Well, that's my answer to Quinn. You're the one that's referring to me, Rocker. You're the one that's going against me. That was my answer.
I could swear I was answering the question.
Okay.
I shouldn't have asked.
For God's sakes, mate. I'm saying, right?
Sorry, chat.
I'm saying it's about contending and giving yourself a chance to win a flag. So your question was, would you rather won a flag or would you rather won final? If you're not winning finals, you've got no chance of winning a flag, right? So to me, it's about being a consistent team that always gives yourself a chance to win a flag because they're fucking hard to fucking win. So to me, it's about being there and giving. I'll give you a question, then both of you, right? Since you're so fucking smart there, right? Would you rather win one flag and play 20 games or play 350 games and never win a flag?
I'd rather win the flag, I think.
And only play one season.
Yeah.
Would you?
It's
different.
bloody nuts.
Because to me, it's about the flag is the ultimate, right? But the flag goes. Like, yeah, you're always a premiership player, and don't get me wrong, it's the ultimate success. That's what you're fighting for. But what is it about?
Yeah,
like
no, I think
20 years with your mates, always contending, winning, losing. To me, that's a great career, right? You win one flag and only play for a season and never play football again. You can take that and move on.
Yeah, no, I think now, the way you put it like that, I tend to agree. So if you look at, and using Richmond as example again, right? You look at just say Jacob Townsend, right? He played for Richmond for a couple of years. He played a couple of games at Essendon as well, Mark, and Gold Coast at one point. But he played a handful of games at Richmond, won a flag in 2017, right? He might have 50 career games to his name, whatever it might be. He's got a flag to his name. But I'd much rather have had the career Matthew Richardson had with no flag. And I think, like you said, it is, and Matula's just pointed it out perfectly. It's about the journey. And I guess that's what I was forgetting before when answering it. Like, and this is putting my question completely aside. This is just talking about, would I rather play 20 games and win a flag, or play 350 and not win one? It's about the journey, right? So it's all good to win a flag after 20 games, but how much does that flag mean if you've only played 20 games and you're not that close with the group? If you played 350 games, like, you've got a bond, and still playing footy. I guess that's probably why I understand it a little bit as well, because like you go out there every week with your mates, the boys that you love. Obviously, having a supporters help. I don't have that at local footy, funny enough, but you've got this group of mates that you play with every week. So to play 350 games alongside your mates, it's a camaraderie. You're like an army out there. It is special. Obviously, you want a flag. Don't get me wrong. You want a flag. That goes to that saying.
We all want the ultimate. Don't get me wrong, and that's what you're going for. That's, of course, we're all trying to achieve that final destination. But I've said this, and that's why Matula said this, because I've said this millions of times, right? Is it the destination or is it the journey, right? Because I'll give you an example. If you ever hear a story of someone who's climbed Mount Everest, right? He doesn't talk much about when he gets to the top and what the view is. What he tells you about is the climb, right? That's what he talks about. And I've even gone further this year and said it's not even about the journey anymore. It's about the person you become on that journey. And I know that seems a bit deep in that. And look, I've seen a flag in 95. I saw one in 87. I saw one in 81 and 82. In 95, I remember it. But it's a fleeting moment and it's done. And then the new season starts. You know what I mean? And you've done it. Like, all right, now what? It's all good. But to me, I'd rather play like 20 years of going in with my mates and playing and winning and losing and being that than that one flag and only playing 10 games, let's say, like, see, and that's it. That's it. That's all like.
Well, I guess. Yeah, you look at, just say again, using Richmond as the example, we look at the 2017 side, right? I mentioned Jack Graham played 5 games before these, then went into a final series, wins the flag, right? Who do you reckon was more special for that year? Jack Graham, who just came in, or Trent Cotchin, who'd captained the team for nearly 10 years? He'd been there since, 07 or whatever it was, and, been through all this shit. Who do you think it was more special for? Like, obviously, Koch, because he's been through it. He's been on that journey. Where Jack Graham's come in, he's loved it. Don't get me wrong. But it's just a different appreciation. I think it's different views that you get. Not saying you don't enjoy a flag regardless, but it's just a different perspective you get on it is what I think makes all the difference. So,
but in saying that, don't get me wrong, we want to win. Like, at the end of the day, of course, everyone wants to win the flag. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't. It's all about. You go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're just sorry, Rock. Sorry, no, keep going, mate. Sorry, my apologies, mate. Sorry.
Oh, there's not much more to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's all great winning and that, but it's about, like, I'm telling you, like, if that's all you care about, I think what happens is you just miss out on so much. And this is why in recent years, like, I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the rebuild. I enjoy the whole thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're going to get disappointments in there, of course, man. And they fucking hurt when you get those disappointments. You know me. I can't stand it after a loss, But, man, if you don't enjoy the fucking journey, man, I'm telling you, you miss out on a lot of stuff in your life, man. Just trust me. You'll miss out on your life will just go by, and then you'll look back and you go, what have I done? You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Just the way
I am. With the journey, I think it's more about the players going through that journey. So it's not about me, you, Quinn, Manny, or whatever the case may be. It's the players' journey, and regardless if they win a flag or not, that's
a journey for you too, Mark. Isn't it a journey?
No, mate. As a supporter, at the end of the day, all I want to do is win a flag, mate. I mean, that's what I'm here to do. I'm a supporter, and I barrack for him. Whatever people say, you're a barracker or a supporter, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, players, it's their journey. 350 games, 400 games. They might not win a flag, mate. You've had a great journey. I'd love to play AFL football when I was a kid. That would be my journey, is to just to play football, one game. But as a supporter, I want to win a flag.
We all want to win flags, but I actually
in the comments saying, this player's played 300 games, that player's played 350 games. They haven't won a flag. He hasn't won a flag. Yeah, I respect those players. Fantastic journeys they've had. I'm pretty sure they would love to win the flag, mate, a grand final.
Yeah,
so,
but no one's saying that people don't want to win it. What I'm saying, see, I completely disagree with you saying that a supporter doesn't go through that journey. That's really been like disrespectful, like, to me. I go through the journey every fucking day of my life.
We all go through the journey, mate. We all go through the journey.
How can you say that we're not going through that journey?
I'm going through that journey, Rocco. Right.
Right. But you just said, oh, we don't go. I just want to. No, I'm going through the exact same journey as they are. They might be kicking the ball, but I'm telling you, I ride those emotions just as much as them.
Yeah,
just as much, mate. And maybe, you know what? And I'd have to say that with some players, maybe more. I maybe ride the emotion more than them, because some of these players, it's just a job to them. To me, that's life.
Yeah. Well,
that's so to say that I don't run that journey, that's not true, man.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that the players are probably, using that journey for their own personal, concept of it. Because I just believe, really, at the end of the day, each team is there to win a flag, and if you don't put those premiership cups on the table, you start losing your members, you start losing your supporters, and the club gets affected. So, kudos to all the people that they're in the journeymans, but my belief is we need to start winning flags.
We know that, Mark. We know that's the ultimate.
That's all I want.
To me, like, I'd rather go, I want the cup. I love the year. I love every moment of it. I love going there. I love the smell. I love round one. Yeah. I love going to fucking finals. I love that emotion of winning. I love that moment straight after we beat Melbourne how me, my kids and Mars and all that, we went out to a pub and we were drinking and we were feeling on top of the world. I love 95 when we won it, mate. It's not about the cup is there, but let's be serious, man. I don't know, man. To me, it's about being there, being a contender, right, and giving yourself a chance. That's what it's about. You've got to give yourself a chance.
Of course, it is, Rock. I think everyone feels the same way, buddy. I'm not going against that. You know, I'm not here to go against supporters and fans out there that want to go through the journey. But you know, I think the ultimate goal, really, at the end of the day, is to win that grand final, mate. You know, that's the ultimate goal.
We know that the ultimate goal is to win the flag. We know that. Of course, you want the ultimate goal to win the flag. But unfortunately, if that's all you're focused on, I'm telling you, you're going to miss out on a lot of good stuff during the fucking journey, man. That's just me, mate. I'd rather be like that, you know what I mean? I'd rather, as I said, I've asked this question before. I'd rather play 350 games, right, and have a career of going every day, man, and living that moment every day than winning one flag and playing 20 games.
Yeah,
man, I know someone. I know Peter Brown, who played 20 games and won one flag. No, he might have played a few more. He might have played like 30-odd games and won one flag. Does anyone know who he is? Well, he says it. He goes, it's good I'm a premiership player, but I only played really like two seasons. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get someone who's played like 20 years, man, got friendships for life, mate. They fucking go out. They have reunions. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. Of course, we want the fucking flag. Anyway, I think we've gone that question. Is everyone? Have we done everything? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? The main thing is that we're playing in the final this week, and we're fucking pumped, mate. And we get to experience that. And I am absolutely pumped about this week. My son's going up tomorrow, so he's going to enjoy it. Got everyone going up there. I hope everything should be good. He's going up there for like 4 days, so they're going to have a bit of a break and go and check it out. And as I was saying before, mate, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm telling you, Vossi will have them up and about, mate, and he'll have them up and about, mate, and he'll get them going, mate, and we'll see what happens Saturday night. But I'll tell you what, one thing, you reckon that the players are going to be riding the bumps? I'm going to feel every bump on Saturday night, mate, every fucking bump, mate, so it should be good, All right.
It'll be good.
I think we're done. I'm done. I'm hungry.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
We're done, Quinny.
Yeah, Dylan tearing up. Fortunate Valley, yeah. Dylan, Paul did a Paul's call on the night, and he did just what was going to happen at the end of the game. Doherty takes a mark, kicks a goal after. So he does this call, and my son Dylan started crying. So talk about living the journey and thing, and then what it means to people, mate. It means a lot to people, man. So yeah, so footy means everything to us.
His wish comes true.
I wish. You know what? I was saying this last night. I wish I didn't care so much.
Yeah,
I do. I wish I didn't care too much. It affects me way too much, man. I want to get dementia. I want to get dementia. I want to get to the stage where I don't want to know anything anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. I just want to watch it like a dumb cunt and just sit there, watch the game and not care. Not worry about what's going to happen. Fucking have a heart attack. It's more than a game. It's more than a game.
It is. We're too far past that point, Rock. Now we're fucked.
No, we're done. We're done. I've got to get dementia to actually like get over this, but there's no way I'll die with my jumper on, you know. If we beat Brisbane, I'll cry. I'll fucking cry too, just finally. All right. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, I know you say that, but dementia's pretty cool, man, because really the people with dementia aren't the fucking mate. The people with dementia, they're all right. It's everyone around them. Like they're walking around. The people around them are going, oh, poor thing, poor thing. They're just walking around going, who the fuck are you, mate? Get out of my way, you know, like they're all right. So we are sick fuckers It all comes down to that. We are all sick fuckers, and this is why we are forever rivals. All right, guys, it's been great. We usually finish with a go Blues and go, but there's no go Essendon or go fucking Tigers. There's only a go Blues, mate. So that's
Can I say go Brisbane? Can I say go Brisbane?
Of course you can go. I'm sure you're going to go for Brisbane. I'm sure you go. I wouldn't expect anything less than that, mate. Right? Is that right? Anything less or anything more? I wouldn't expect
anything less.
I wouldn't expect anything less, man. You're going to go for Brisbane. I can understand, man. Just don't message me after the game, and we'll talk.
No. All holes barred, mate.
I'm sure about that. And again, I'm going to enjoy my cake for the 20 years. Fantastic.
Enjoy it, mate.
And,
save me a piece, mate. Save me a piece, yeah?
I'll be saving you a piece. I'll be thinking about you, Marco. You know I love you. I hate your team, but you know I love you. All right, guys. I'm going to go feed these dogs. Thank you very much. And go the Blue Baggers!